we are live for the first time in a month because of various issues popping up in our little group here. But Almost a Party is back with episode number 14. We're all excited to be back for our first episode of the new year. It turns out episode 13 was a cursed bad luck episode after all because it took us a month to be able to get back to where we could play. But we are here, and everybody's here, which is nice.
Woo!
Yay.
Woo!
And so, where we last left our players, they had traveled from Mint in a caravan and towards the Hand of the God Mountains so that they could pass through the Dwarven territory to the nation of Harrington to meet with the counselor. On their way, about halfway along the journey, as the caravan was set up to camp, they heard the screams from somebody coming off in the distance. They rushed to help and found a centaur and an elf being attacked by 3 ogres. The party intervened, stopping the ogres and talking with the centaur and elf. Upon bringing them back to camp, they were then hired by the caravan to go out and search in the nearby area to make sure that nothing would be threatening to the caravan in the immediate area, and to let the caravan know if they need to pick up and travel even though they should be resting on this day. So that is where we are. The players, you all rested in the night, in the evening, so make sure you took your long rests. And in the morning, it is your chance to go out and to explore the nearby area. So, what would you like to do?
I would like to find my character sheet. One moment.
Fair enough. I understand it takes a bit getting back into it here. Gotta get everybody organized.
So we did get a long rest before we're going to search the area. It wasn't doing it the same night.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Man, could you imagine if we didn't?
I mean,
I
it wouldn't
could.
be that hard. You guys didn't really get hurt all that much.
Yeah, that fight was probably our smoothest fight ever.
Not saying much, though.
The bar was so low.
Yeah, that is true. That bar was definitely quite low.
I think it was on the ground.
And we stepped over it like champions. All right. We're just going on a patrol, right?
Yeah, so you guys were instructed by Elman, the Dragonborn, leader of this caravan. He hired you, he gave you a bag of coins along with it, and told you to go and make sure that there wasn't anything that would be threatening to the caravan, and if they need to essentially expedite their travel, or even if they'll need to potentially stop and turn around and return. It's up to you guys to kind of go out and spread out further, while the main caravan protection group stays with them to protect those that are actually still remaining in the camp.
Because this is a rest day for the caravan. They're all just staying put while we investigate around, or are we just going to venture forward of them while they're kind of following from behind?
Yeah, so this is the rest day. The horses need the break
Gotcha.
on here, but they can push them if they need to. So, and that's basically what you're out to go find, is if they need to.
I would suggest we venture further down the road to see if there's anything that way, and then conduct a wide circle around the caravan.
Shouldn't we split up, though? That'll take us a little less time to do it that way.
Indeed. Let us split into 2 shifts of 3.
How do we split ourselves?
Don't forget, you also have a centaur and an elf with you, so you are not just 6 right now. There is 8. Ciradyl and Argus are still here, and they will not be split.
Yeah,
Are
I was gonna say I
they
don't feel like
It's
we can
Lady
split them.
Ciradyl?
are they patrolling with us? I didn't expect that.
Yeah, they're not gonna stay in the camp. So,
They don't
Okay.
want to sit around.
yeah,
I'm able to communicate with them. I could go with them as well. I think someone else is able to communicate. Is it
Mizeki.
Mizeki?
exactly half
Yes.
of you can communicate with them. So Mizeki, Alandiel, and Ore all speak one of the languages that the Centaur speaks, and of course, Ciradyl speaks Elven.
I would say this is out of character, but I think we probably should split Valerian and Ito so that both parties have some sort of frontliner.
And
Yeah, I was thinking
maybe
the same.
splitting me and Alondiel for any kind of healing if necessary.
Yeah. So we'll go over this in character, and Valerian will suggest that we have um, Ito and Ore go with the centaur and the other the elf lady whose name I forgot, and then the other four of us go together. So that'd be Valerian, Mizeki, Sadzi, and Alandiel. So we have 2 groups of 4.
So
Did-
split the centaurs. Got it.
You said the elf is Ciradyl? Is that Ambassador Ciradyl?
No, it is
No,
not.
another. Okay.
Yep.
These elves. Cyrodiil is just such a common name for elves. So are we good with that, or do we want to
It seems fair to
do it
me.
other ways?
No, that works.
Fine by me.
I mean, the ogres probably would have left a big path. I don't imagine them being too stealthy that we could probably fall back to their den.
Yeah,
Or Warren or
so you could
wherever they
definitely
came
return
from.
to the point and then try and follow from where the ogres came from there.
Sorry, objective wise, are we just trying to see if there's further danger? Because if so, we can just all 8 of us go and just try and find the origin of the ogres. Or are we trying to fan out and see if there's other threats beyond just the ogres?
I think
Uh,
the goal is to secure the caravan moving forward and make sure that they're not going to have to leave now.
Yeah, so it's basically to find out if there is anything else threatening to the caravan in the immediate area. Because those ogres, even though they were a ways off, were still close enough to be a threat to the caravan. And with the story from Ciradyl and Argus about how they were transported from the Feywild here, not knowing how they got there, and how even one stone pillar from the Feywild had come with them. There's a chance that more Fey were brought here as well. And Fey, you're kind of 50-50 on whether they're good or bad, and whether they'll be a hindrance or a help, or whether they'll just play pranks on you. And so there's a lot of potential for things. If you're wanting to look for ogres, the best plan would be to go and get to the point where you found and met Ciradyl and Argus and fought off the ogres and track the ogres from there where they came from. If you're looking for Fey threats, again, that's probably the best part to start at because you know that at least something happened there related to the Feywild. If you're just looking for any kind of threat that you don't think the um, protectors of the caravan can handle and are an immediate threat, then you probably want to spread out and branch out in every direction from the camp. But your mission that you were given was to make sure that there were no pressing threats that needs to cause the camp to leave immediately.
All right, yeah, let's split in 2 and just fan out behind us then.
Okay.
I would like to go with the group that heads back towards where we ran into the ogres and kind of do our sweep from there. Just for the reason that you pointed out, to kind of see if there's any other ogres in the area or any other fey creatures that may have started in that around that obelisk.
Cool. Yeah, let's just send your group over there, and then we'll have the other group will stay sort of nearby.
And do a tighter circle around the camp slowly.
Yeah, that
Looping
way I
out.
figure Yeah, we can do like a 2 or like 8-point semicircle, and we can start at the ogre area and then just like branch out, but keep our 2 parties always close to each other, so we can scream out if we need to.
Okay. So what is our party split?
You've got Valerian, Mizeki, Sadzi, and Elandiel in one group, and then Ito, Ore, and the 2 NPCs in the other group.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So yeah, should we let Ore's group go first since we know what they're looking for?
That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right. So, Ito, Ore, you guys are heading back with Ciradyl and Argus towards the pillar that had also been transported from the Feywild along with them. You make your way there, and as you arrive, you see that the pillar is still just standing strong, and Ciradyl and Argus go over to inspect it a bit closer. What do the two of you want to be doing while this is happening?
I would be keeping an eye on them near the pillar, and then just kind of maybe starting a circle from the pillar out, looking for indication of where the ogres came from, and if there's any other tracks or any other disturbances in the ground from any other creatures that might be running around.
Okay. Um, Go ahead and give me a survival check for tracks to see what you can uncover.
I'm proficient at that, but I rolled a whopping 3 for a total of 10.
All right. So it's very clear the tracks of the ogres. You can see their large foot, but the tracks are very obscured because of all the fighting that was done here. You can kind of trace where your own tracks were, and you can see the two sets of centaur tracks, one obviously much larger than others. So you can identify the tracks of Argus from Mizeki, but you don't detect any other kind of tracks that you don't already know were here.
Okay.
Ito?
Ito would have probably been doing about the same thing. He can't really ask. I mean, could he have used the help action on Ore by chance?
Yeah, you could have assisted to give him advantage.
Just pat him on the shoulder. I believe in you.
Yep.
Guidance.
I'll roll again to get
have
that advantage. 1 moment.
yep.
Yeah.
Have you tried those giant footprints over there?
Hey, that's a better roll. That comes out to 18.
Okay. So it's definitely very easy to track where the ogres came from. And they actually came from much further north. And so when you guys came up from them, you came from them on the south, and they were attacking towards the north, where Argus and Ciradyl had appeared. And so they were headed south before whatever happened here happened. And so they stopped to fight this centaur and elf that just showed up out of nowhere. And so you could easily continue following them further north.
We didn't discuss this beforehand, but did we split the stones so we can communicate if necessary?
I believe Mizeki's always had one of those stones, and I thought you always had the second one because of the things that you guys had done in Bracknell and in Kuche.
Right, and I'm sure that we did. I just wanted to confirm that we would have thought about this before splitting up, one little retroactively making sure each team has stones.
Yeah, I think you guys didn't plan it, but it just worked out that
works
way.
out well. Yes.
That works. That works as well. As we start heading north, I will let the other group know using the stone that we found the ogre trail heading north. If they want to follow us, they can, or continue on their patrol.
Okay. With that, we'll go ahead and switch to the other group. So that's going to be Mizeki, Valerian, Sadzi, and Alandio. Um, what are you doing in your attempts here to make sure that the caravan is safe?
So Valerian is probably annoying everybody else because he's barking out orders as if he's on, a military patrol, and telling everybody to fan out like in 10-foot increments so we can cover the most distance. And then just using perception or investigation to see if there's any threats about.
Okay.
And I feel like, yeah, sweep around the area because we want to push outward from the camp, not miss something big behind us.
All right. Yeah. Everybody that wants to kind of keep an eye out, go ahead and give me a perception check.
21.
7.
15.
My dice rolling is turned off. 1 second.
All
The
right.
scenery's so enjoyably pleasant. I mean, look at that
23.
tree.
Okay.
The way the light catches on it
It's a happy little
and the
tree.
leaves.
Yeah.
Very pretty tree.
Alandiel, you're probably also a bit distracted because you met this new centaur, much larger than Mizeki, very majestic. I imagine you've already got your notebook out and your pencil, and you're just kind of nose in it, drawing him to the best of your ability. And every now and then you're like, "Oh right, we're supposed to be looking out." Okay.
I almost tripped on that. Whew. Should probably pay more attention. Oh
Uh,
man, but the way that light caught that mane. Whew.
all right. Satsi, with your 15, looking around, you don't notice anything as you get further and further away from the camp. All seems to be normal there. For Valerian and Mizeki, as you guys are watching and going out, you see that it's fairly clear in every direction. There are a few uh, people walking down the road in the distance towards you from the same direction that you came up this road the day before, but you don't see any obvious threats.
Well, I see no danger here. Valerian just kind of like says to no one in particular.
I mean, Mizeki doesn't really. I mean, he probably has some sort of snarky comment, but I can't think of one right now. So
All right. So as you continue on searching, you, Mizeki, get the message in your sending stone, which you recognize as Ore, telling you that they have found the tracks of the ogres, and they lead further north from where you first encountered them, inviting you to join them if you wish, or to continue on as you feel fit.
it's too bad I have to immediately answer.
You don't have to immediately answer, you can just use your charge to answer later.
That's true. That's true. I mean, we've kind of been checking around the nearby area, and we haven't found anything yet. And there's already the soldiers that can defend. I feel like we should go. I'm gonna respond that we'll head that way now, and
Okay.
then tell Valerian that we have a positive confirmation of tracks.
Cool. Valerian's all about that, so let's go up that way with them.
Okay.
Because I just feel like the guards can watch it at this point.
Yeah, watch the immediate nearby area for sure. So, and I mean, you can always talk to them before you go if you wanted to speak with any of them. But they seemed like a pretty capable group, at least from the two that you've interacted with, the Furbolg and the Dwarf. So,
yeah.
All right. So, Ore, you get the message back that they are going to head your way. Are you going to camp down and wait for them, or are you guys going to follow the tracks and just expect them to kind of do the same when they get here?
Approximately how far are we from the camp
Uh,
to the section? About in travel time wise.
So it's only about 1,000 yards, so it's really all not that far. It should only be a couple minutes, depending on which direction they went from the camp.
Ito, they said they are going to join us, but I'm wondering if we should begin heading north and just allow them to catch up. If we keep our eyes and wits about us and not disturb anything and engage in battle, we may be able to get some intel before they catch up to us. What are your thoughts?
Ito nods and yes, I mean, if we go slowly, they'll be able to catch up and we'll be able to get a bit closer without being seen, perhaps.
Agreed. And then I would assume we would proceed north, follow the trail, and just kind of do it at a slower pace, kind of keep some stealth to us if we can.
Okay. So you begin following the tracks, and you guys want to do it at a stealthy pace?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and each of you make stealth checks.
With my whole +2 and disadvantage from my armor, I got a 5.
Nice.
I got a whopping 8.
All right, so you guys are convinced you're being really quiet, but you're not sure if that's just because Valerian isn't around and the party's just much quieter without him here. But you continue on following the tracks. You head north for a few minutes following the tracks. At this point, the other four of you arrive at the pillar, where you find Ciradyl and Argus still inspecting the pillar.
Oh, I thought Ciradyl and Argus were coming with us.
You didn't go get them. I told you that they were
I
inspecting the pillar when they arrived. I
right. No,
and asked you
I
what
thought
you wanted to do.
as a party, I thought us as a party would be heading north. The
Yeah,
four of us.
you looked for tracks and then you followed them, and I'm like, okay, cool.
All right. So it's a couple minutes along the trail. I turned to Ito. Oh, we should have gathered the Fae with us.
And when we happen upon the Fae, Valerian will be wary and have his spear out. He's got a shield that looks suspiciously like Ito's old shield, and this shorter spear. And he's not gonna brandish it at the Fae, but he's like got it out and he's on alert. And he'll look at the Fae and say, "Where are Ito and Ore?" But in an English voice that's not his.
And Ciradyl will look up from what she was doing at the pillar, turn and look, and go, I don't know. We got here and began investigating the pillar, and they must have walked off.
That does sound like them.
Valerian will want to fan out and form a perimeter around this area to see if they were snatched by baddies.
Okay.
They most likely followed the tracks. If we can find those tracks, which hopefully they marked in some way as they followed them themselves.
Nope.
Nah,
Someone didn't go to basic
That's a
survival
to be
school.
fair, to be fair,
22 to check for ogre sign.
All right, so yeah,
Survival check.
very easily you get in there and you just narrow in on the ogre tracks where they obviously came from the north.
It's those
and
big ones, guys.
and you can see clearly a tracks from a forged and a human minotaur headed north towards them.
Grr. All right, let's follow him.
You feel safe checking out that pillar, Cyrodiil, or do you want to come with?
And she'll respond, I think we have learned all that we can from this pillar. And then she'll switch into Elvin and say, Argus, do you agree that we have found everything we can on this pillar and should continue with these folks? And he'll respond in kind that he agrees. So anybody that speaks Elven gets that conversation, which I think in this group is just
Just me.
Elandiel. Anybody else speak Elven?
Nope.
Negative.
All right. So you continue on. Are you guys going at a stealthy pace?
Maybe Mizeki, but definitely not Valerian.
Okay. So it doesn't take you very long to come upon a not that well stealthy Ito and Ore, who are trying. You can tell very carefully by like how carefully they're taking their steps to be stealthy, but they're still making just as much noise as if they'd gone at a normal pace.
It's like Scooby Doo.
Valerian will catch up to them, and then in a rare show of humor, he'll raise his. You know how when people like raise their claws and they're like rawr, he does that.
Okay. Are you trying just to spook them?
Yeah, just like a friendly spook, but he's not stealthing either, so they probably just notice him coming up.
All right. Give
It's
me
it's
an
his way of
intimidation
indicating.
check. We'll see how good it was.
Let us see. 20. It's a 20 good.
All right. Ito and Ore, you're both a little startled as you just hear this roar, but as you turn, you see that it is Valerian. And you relax a bit. And you see Valerian has brought with him the rest of your group, including Ciradyl and Argus.
You
We'll
got
ask
us unaware, and you've made good time catching up. We've been trying
Valerian.
to move quietly.
Valerian will chuckle and ask them what they've found. He's not going to outright tell them that they were completely not stealthed at all, but he thought that the pantomiming was obvious enough. What have you found?
We've just been able to follow the tracks of the ogres. Looks like they descended from the north originally.
Well, we probably want to follow that and make sure there's none going to come searching for them because they'd be headed right towards the caravan.
That was my thought as well.
Okay.
This is wise.
All right. So as you continue following the tracks north, they begin to verge off towards the west, but still going north. Uh, as this split happens, you hear voices calling out in the distance for help, saying that they are
More.
lost, looking for their friends.
And these are shouting out in common or another language?
They are shouting out in common.
Got ya.
Let's ask Cyrodiil and the Centaur Man if they had any friends with them when they were magically transported.
So you ask in common, I'm guessing?
Yeah, Valerian will ask in common, but I'm hoping someone will
I'll
translate.
ask it. I'll translate it to Elven.
Okay. Well, Cyrodiil speaks common and has been communicating. I just wanted to make sure I knew who was going to be responding. So, and
I head off towards the shouting for help, and I kind of pick up the pace.
okay. So as you all turn to ask this, Ore continues on, picking up his pace a bit to head towards that. And Cyrodiil responds. She goes, "There are a few friends of ours in the Feywild, but we were not with them at the time that we were transported. There are several enemies as well. We should be cautious."
How far ahead of us is Ore? Because it's
Uh,
probably good to try and stealth now.
Yeah, I'd say as he's started to pick up his pace, he's maybe only 50 feet ahead of you guys because you're all walking and talking as you're having this conversation. But since he picked up his pace when he heard this, he's moved a little bit faster than everybody else.
All right, slow down.
I'll pause for a moment and kind of look over my shoulder when you say that, and then kind of look back and see if I can see where I'm hearing the screams from.
So you can see um, up ahead, there is a large tree that is casting shadows in your direction. And so, as you're looking that way, you're kind of looking into the sun, but you think you can make out three shadows of people sitting near that tree.
I'll kind of point that out and continue moving that direction. No longer at as hurried a pace, but to still get there timely.
I want to
Uh,
hide more. I have
So
concerns.
would you say they're within 120 feet?
Not yet. At this point, there may be about 150 feet from Ore as he's kind of spotting them off in the distance, and so it's not too far from you guys.
Okay.
Do we know of any trees that might be poisonous or venomous or aggressive, like that we would want to be concerned about? Is there anything in this area that we know of?
Make a nature check.
Well, that's a natural 1 plus my 2. So that's a 3.
Uh, your experience with plants is very, very low, as you tend to prefer very raw, bloody meat, especially recently. You tend to kind of just stick your nose up at plants, and so you haven't really studied them, and so you don't know much about plants.
Could I make the
I got
same
a
check as
15.
I'm getting closer to the tree, kind of determine what type of tree it is?
Sure.
A big one.
That's a big old fat 1.
It's a big
Total of
tree.
5. It's also the sun's on the other side of it, apparently.
Mhm.
I'm gonna try and
Got
sneak
a
a little
15.
closer.
Okay.
What kind of tree is it? Is it a nice tree? Jesus. We're having a rough time.
Is that 3 nat 1s in a row, guys?
Yep. That's
I mean,
a 3. It's not. I was
it's
really hoping I'd get a
technically
4, so I
it's
could say I got
technically
a 4.
broken by a 13.
Oh, I
So
didn't
I'm
my
just glad we're
see
getting these ones
roll.
out of the way.
But to
Everyone's
be
like,
fair,
tree is tree, has leaves.
tree
Well,
is
my
tree.
3 was a stealth check to try and sneak a little closer, but apparently I'm finding every twig.
Yeah. Kind of
Also,
tripping over
you're also doing the
everybody
Scooby Doo walk.
as you're going. All right.
As I'm getting closer, I'll kind of hold back, giving like 100 feet or so away from whoever's calling out to kind of get a little bit more assessment of the situation before I get too much closer.
Okay. So as you make your way closer and you get to kind of position yourself to where you are in the shade of the tree so you can see a bit better without the sun blaring in your eyes, you can indeed make out three figures that are sitting in the tree um, about 10 feet apart from each other, just kind of each relaxing underneath the branches is and as they see you coming, they stand up, and you can see that they have very beautiful elven forms, very similar to that of Ciradyl.
But they're up in the tree. They're not like on the ground at the tree.
They are on the ground below the tree, sitting in its shade.
Oh, I see. Got it.
So, and as you approach, they wave and they call out again, "We're lost and looking for our friends."
I
I
shout back.
wave back and say hi in Elven.
All right.
What friends are you looking for?
Melon.
We're looking for our friend. She is an elf, and she's being accompanied by a centaur at the moment.
Valerian's gonna cough very loudly.
Point of order for Alandiel. They did not respond to your hi in Elven, nor are they speaking in Elven at all.
They're speaking Sylvan or
Common.
Common right now.
That's common.
Interesting.
So Ore didn't really pay attention to what
Alandiel would be the
Cyril-
only one that notices that because
Yeah.
he's the
Yeah.
only one that knows Elven.
So I kind of, as they say that to me, I look over my shoulder to see Ciradyl and Argus coming up with the rest of the group, and I start to gesture, kind of pointing in that direction.
You gesture to.
I gesture towards Ciradyl and Argus, kind of in reference to like they're looking for their friends, and I kind of gesture that direction, and then turn my attention back. I think we may have found your companions.
Okay. And they'll respond. They go, "Oh, how joyous!"
How did you guys get lost out here?
Well,
Again in Elven.
no response.
And then I'll repeat in common. How did you guys get lost out here?
They'll go, "Well, we were looking for our friend when this bright light came upon us as we traveled through the Feywild, and the next thing we knew, we were here.
What's your friend's name?
Her name is Ciradyl.
And the centaur?
We do not know his name, as he is traveling with our friend, but he himself we do not know well."
I would like to insight them. They seem suspicious.
Okay, go ahead
And
and
she
make an
said she
insight
had
check.
enemies that came through.
17.
So they definitely seem to be talking around something, and they're not telling you everything that they know.
Could I ask Ore to ask either Ciradyl or Argus, whichever one you communicate with, if they know these people?
Yeah. I'll turn towards Ciradyl and Argus, and I'll speak in Sylvan. Do you know these individuals? Are they your companions?
So as you guys ask this, and they get closer, and they can turn, and they can see, you can watch as Argus quickly grabs Ciradyl, lifts her up, throws her onto his back, and says, "We shouldn't be here." At which point you see the figures of the elves begin to shift and change. Their fingers elongate, their skin goes green, their hair goes white. If you all go
I know
into
these
Fantasy
are.
Ground and go to the outdoor image, I would like everybody to go ahead and roll initiative.
I really would rather not. 5.
9.
We're
Eight.
having a rough day.
Okay, so Mizeki was a 5 and Sadzi was a 9.
Correct.
I also got a 9.
Okay.
Ito is an 8.
Ito has an 8.
Ore's got a 12.
Ore's got a 12.
Don't worry, guys. Valerian's got a 5.
Valerian's got a 5. All right, let me roll for Argus here in Ciradyl real quick. Ciradyl got a 19. And Argus he has a +2. Argus got a 5. And let's see how the hags get. Okay. Well, the hags get a 2, so.
Why would you not follow your blockers to the right? Whoops. Sorry, push to talk.
All right. So Ciradyl.
Yeah, I'm assuming they wouldn't have been in front of us, right?
They would have pulled up here as you got them to look. You guys can move in front of them here, but this would be the point that you guys would have gotten to for them to be able to see. So, and Ciradyl is now sharing the space with Argus, so we'll move her there.
Can I be
And
a little closer as well?
yeah, you can all go ahead and move yourselves where you want to be here in front of them.
Do you have move confirmations on? It just says
Yes.
15 feet. Okay.
It's not quite loading the background image for me.
Ooh, bummer. It is just a field with some trees.
Okay.
So you can view it on the stream if you want. So, okay. And she is going to cast a spell, and you see as the sky goes dark and lightning begins to form up in the skies and then strikes down at one of them. They make their dex save, and so they'll take just a little bit of damage.
Was
There
that
we go,
Cyrodiil
loaded.
casting that?
Yes.
Gotcha.
And so that was just hag number 1 that she struck it down at. Ore, it is your turn.
I see this, and I will target hag number 2 with my special uh, guiding bolt. What do I have?
Yes, your special star guiding bolts. Star map.
And it's not letting me roll. There it goes. 12 plus 7 for 19.
19 will hit.
And that is a lot of threes on 46s. 11.
11. Okay.
11 damage. And then I'm going to bonus action into Starry Form and target her again.
Okay. So you've got advantage because of Guiding Bolt.
D&D Beyond's being a little slow with the roller.
It's all right.
Oh, neither of those are good rolls. 14 total.
14 will miss.
And then I'm going to separate off a little bit from the group.
Okay.
To about there.
All right. Next is Alondiel and Sadzi. So you guys can decide who wants to go here, but you're both on initiative 9.
I'll go first.
Okay.
That's fine with me.
And I'll open up with casting Bless. And I will bless Mazeki, Valerian, and I'll go with Sadzi.
Hooray! Thank you.
Okay, so Mazeki, Valerian, and Sadzi, you are blessed. That's a d4 to attack rolls and saving throws. Anything else, Alondiel?
I will try to stay between Cyrodiil and the hags.
Okay.
Are Cyrodiil or Argus wearing any kind of armor?
So Ciradyl is wearing leather armor. But Argus is not wearing any.
Gotcha.
Are you finished, Delandio?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay. Sadzi, go ahead. And we can barely hear you. Let me make sure I've got your volume turned up.
No, I had my microphone
Ah, okay.
away from my face.
There we go.
Okay, so let's firebolt at Hag 2.
Okay.
So that'll be a
And is the guiding bolt till the next hit or the next
Next
attack? Okay. So 23 will hit. So go ahead and roll your firebolt damage.
measly 3.
Hey, 3 is better than 0, right?
Yeah. Oh, do I get an extra for the blast for the damage or just the attack?
Just the
2
attack
hit.
roll.
Okay.
All right. Anything else that
That's
you
me
would
done.
like to do, Sadzi?
Nope. I'm
Okay.
good.
Ito.
So it's gonna take me a good bit of movement to get anywhere useful here.
You were the only one that didn't move when I gave you the opportunity before the start of combat, so.
Run, Ito, run.
Just sprint straight at them.
Clank, 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 clank.
Yeah, it's only like they're only like 40 feet away from that closest one, so that's just one round.
Weirdly, I can make it to there, and then I guess chuck a spear.
Okay. Which one you checking the spear at?
I guess Hag 2, is that the one we've already hurt?
Technically they've all been hurt because I just remembered how Call Lightning actually works, and it targets a space and all of them within 5 feet of it. So.
Cool. They've all been hurt. Okay, well, I'm just gonna hit the one that's closest because I know everyone else is gonna focus fire it.
Okay.
I would like to attack the furthest enemy.
That'll be 24 to hit.
24 will hit.
And a solid 8 damage.
8 damage. Okay. Anything else you would like to do?
That's about it.
Okay. Mizeki and Valerian, you are up. You can decide which order you would like to go in.
Mizeki surely has a higher dex bonus than me, so you can go first.
I forgot how to do the distance thing, so give me a second while I count.
Okay.
25. Okay, so yeah, well within range, right? I am going to do the hexing on the nearest one because I think it'll die soon.
Okay.
As my bonus action. Use my packed slot for that. And then I will give her the Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
So 16, and then I have my bless. So 18 to hit.
18 will hit.
Yay! And I'm not level 5 yet, so it's only one beam. For 7, and then 5, so a total of 13, 12 necrotic.
Okay. 12 necrotic damage.
And then I'm gonna move away.
Okay.
To like the edge there.
All right, and Valerian is going to run right in the middle of them.
Okay.
And then he will let out a daunting roar and level his spear at all of them. He does have the spear and the shield, and then take a defensive posture, so he'll dodge right in the middle of all of them. They need to make a, I believe, DC 13 wisdom save, or else they are scared of me until the end of the next round.
Okay. Wisdom save 13. All right. So number 1 gets a 4. Number
Hooray!
2 gets an 8. And number 3 gets a 20. So number 3 ain't scared of you.
Okay, so the other two have disadvantage on everyone except for me. and then I dodge, so they have disadvantage on everybody as long as I'm in their line of sight,
Okay.
and then I'm done.
All right. So Ciradyl or Argus is going to ask in Sylvan if Ciradyl is okay. Okay. And she'll confirm, and then he will begin running them away. And then it is the hag's turn. And so the hag, number 3, you're going to watch as her eyes go dark, and she's going to say, "Not so fast." And let's have a save from our centaur here. Let's see what Argus gets. This is a... What kind of save is this? Wisdom save. He fails, and you watch as he's running away with Ciradyl on his back, he just falls unconscious, and Ciradyl slides off of his back.
Oh snap!
The other hags turn to Valerian, and they are both going to attempt to strike you with their claws.
Bring it on.
Okay, so with disadvantage, that is a 23.
Oh my gosh, that's a hit.
Yeah, I rolled really well on that. So you will take 13 slashing damage.
All right.
And the second one, that is only a 8 to hit.
That's gonna miss, boss.
And so that is their turn. At this point, it is back to the top of the round, and it is Ciradyl, who is going to shake the centaur awake, and then she's going to turn and face the hags, and you're going to watch as her eyes begin to glow brightly, and you hear her echo out in a very deep Sylvan voice. "You shouldn't have followed me." And as that happens, another bolt of lightning is going to come strike down 10 feet away from Valerian to where it will hit Hag 2 and Hag 3. And let's see if they make their saves. One does, one does not. And let's see how much damage this does. All right. So Hag number 3 takes 9 points of damage, and Hag number 2 takes 17 points of damage. And Hag 2 is not looking very great at the moment. And then it is Oray's turn.
So we might say that Hag 2 is looking a bit haggard.
Wait.
We could
Ah,
also
you
say
beat me to
she's
it.
looking a bit green.
Just looking a bit. I'm going to shoot her with my beams.
Okay, so I see Argus go down. I am going to cast on him Shield of Faith as a bonus action.
Okay.
And then I am going to use my other special casting of Guiding Bolt on Hag 1.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Okay.
Total of 27.
Yeah, that'll definitely hit. Go ahead and roll your crit damage.
That is 28 damage to that hag.
Okay.
Nice, good roll. So that's my bonus action and my action. I'm going to stay where I'm at. And then Shield of Faith adds +2 AC to Argus.
Ooh, your special casting of Guiding Bolt doesn't actually let you break the rules of spell casting.
You are literally just allows you to cast the spell.
Right.
The rules. Consult the books.
Right.
So maybe not the Shield of Faith, or maybe not the
Yeah, not the
Guiding
Shield of
Bolt.
Faith. Yeah, I'll hold off on the Shield of Faith. So yeah, so I think about Shield of Faith, but I'm like, maybe I should take out the threat. So I target her, use that then, which frees up my bonus action to use my Archer casting again and hit it with the Starry Archer form with advantage.
Right, which that's what in my mind your bonus action was. So when you did it, I was like, wait, what did he do? Oh, right, he broke the rules.
Oh darn it! I didn't roll with advantage, but that's a natural 20 as well.
Okay.
I'll
Hags.
keep
Oh
that.
my
I'm gonna use the
God.
advantage.
You gotta leave some natural 20s for the rest of us, man.
I just want to get one off the map. That's all I'm really trying to do.
I have discovered that when you are
14
playing
damage.
Starry Archer, there are no other nat 20s but yours.
Okay. Dang, you did 42 points of damage.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
think it's dead.
No, it's not. But yeah, that was a pretty nasty round for that. And that was
Yeah.
that's only been the first 2 turns. Alandia or Ori, did you want to move at all?
Yeah, I was just kind of debating if I should move. I think I'm fine where I'm at
Okay.
for right now.
Alandiel and Sadzi, whoever wants to go of you two.
I'll cast Spiritual Weapon directly south of Valerian in between the 2 hags. And I'll have the fine spectral elven blade swing at the corner one closest to me.
Okay, the number 2.
14.
14. That will miss.
Oh.
And I just had a thought. Valerian, are they just scared till the end of your turn, or do they have to make another save for that?
Until the end of my turn.
Until the end of your turn. Okay, cool. All right, Alandiel, so that's your bonus action.
And I can cast an action, but it has to
Cantrip.
be a cantrip.
Yes.
Okay. And I'll then try to do. It's a hag. You know what? Let's go with. They probably have a worse dex than wisdom. I'll go with Sacred Flame on the same one.
Okay, Sacred Flame, what's your
15. DC 15.
15. 18.
Oh, man. All sorts of saves today against me. Okay.
All right, any movement?
And I will stay between the hags and our friends.
Okay.
So I'm going to stay put.
Sadzi.
I'd like to see if we can knock out Hag 2.
Okay.
So another firebolt. That's a 24.
24 will hit.
4 points of damage.
4 points of damage. Okay. Still standing.
Well, that makes me slightly grumpy.
Well, you're supposed to be grumpy. So it's working. All right. Anything else? Bonus actions, movement?
I was gonna move a little bit, but are you insinuating that I am a grumpy cat, sir?
Yeah.
I think you've got your cats mixed up. Valerian's always grumpy.
I picture Sadzi as more of a lulz cat.
Ito.
Ito does what Ito do best. Run up, hit a thing.
Okay. Run up, hit a thing.
Having thrown his spear last turn, he's now going to pull out his Ikola. And is there still free advantage on one of these hags?
If
No. If you
we're
position
flanking, if you
yourself,
move, yeah.
one down, you would be flanking with Valerian, though.
Ah, yeah, that would be smart. And that's advantage, right?
Yep.
A 1 and a 20. I will take the 20, thanks.
Is that a nat 20 or a
That's a nat 20, yeah.
modified?
A nat 20.
Nice.
All right. So
That'll
many
be 10
crits.
damage.
10? Okay.
It's because we got all those ones out of the way early.
Yep.
And if that doesn't put her down, I'll just action surge and do it again.
That does not put her down.
A 24 to hit.
That'll hit.
Minimum damage, 6.
Okay. That does not put her down. All right. Anything else, Ito?
And the customary shove.
Okay. Strength check.
Yep, I got a solid 12 there, so.
They got a 9. So
Hey!
you knock them down.
And that's everything.
Okay.
Wait, did you just knock them down?
Yeah.
Can you push them to the side instead, please?
Oh,
So that I don't suffer dis on my ranged attacks?
oh
It's a
yeah, I
shove.
forgot
You
about
can
that.
push them 5 feet instead of knocking them over.
Right, yeah.
Can they
I'm going
occupy
to,
the same space as the sword?
Yeah, the sword doesn't
Yes.
occupy a space.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
But
okay.
you can also push
I'll,
them up as well instead of
True.
back.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll just shove towards one of the other hags. One sec.
Which way? Up or back?
Let's go up.
Okay. All right. And then it is Mizeki
And then
and
step.
Valerian's turn. And step in?
Yeah, yeah, just gonna step there so that I can protect Valerian.
Okay. It is Mizeki and Valerian's turn.
I'm gonna try and pew pew 2 again.
Okay.
Am I still blessed?
Yeah.
You are for a whole minute.
Cool. So 17.
17 will hit.
Yay! Look at that. That's an 8. Why won't it let me scroll? And then 3, so 11.
Okay.
11 necrotic.
11 necrotic damage. Okay. That hag will go down.
Yay! I regain hit points. I don't remember how many
Hashtag
it is.
best.
Isn't it
Have you
just
been
equal to
back?
your charisma modifier?
Or wait, no, that's for the curse. Wrong curse. They called them the same stupid thing. I will move it now as my BA to Green Hag 1.
Okay.
And put it on Hex is the one that I can do an ability, right? Yeah, I'll choose do we think they have more dex or strength? Probably more dex, right?
That's my thinking.
I'm gonna put it on dex so they get a disadvantage against the grapples.
Okay. All
Cool.
right.
And then I'm done.
Valerian.
All right, Valerian is gonna attack this. Where are you, Hag 1?
Hag 1 to the south of you.
Yeah, Hag 1. With his spear, and then he'll use the bonus action attack to attack her again.
Okay.
All right, first attack is going to be a 25 to hit.
That'll hit.
Let's go ahead and do a whole 6 damage. And then we'll roll the same thing, but this is with the butt of the spear. That's going to be 18 to hit.
Okay. Yeah, that'll hit.
And that will be 6 damage as well.
Okay.
And then he is done.
All right. So Argus, who has come to consciousness because he was shaken awake by Ciradyl, will stand up and throw her back onto his back, and continue moving away. As you all deal with the hags. It is now the hag's turn.
I wish they'd conveyed this to us a little bit better.
I mean, you guys are the ones that ran in to fight them. He said we shouldn't be here and started running.
Well, no, I mean the part about like what's chasing you.
He didn't know that anything had come with him. So,
Well, yeah, but she did, didn't she?
no one knew that anything came with them.
But
They
they were
did
being
say
chased
they-
before,
Yeah, when you
and
asked
they
about
could
friends,
have
they
been
said,
more explicit about that. Yeah.
yeah, they said they had friends and enemies. So, all right. Let's see here. This hag is going to move here. And then let's see here. This is 100 feet long. So that is going to be Valerian, Ito,
Oh no.
and just the two of you. If Mizeki was one space up and Elandiel was one space down, they would be in this.
Hey, you guys,
Tactics.
I need
You
Valerian
still-
and Ito to make dex saves for me.
Valerian has bless, so don't forget that.
Oh, good. I'm gonna need it. 15 with bless.
Okay.
I'll take a whole 11 with no
Okay.
bless.
So Valerian saves, Ito does not. So let me roll this out here real quick.
I hate that Shieldmaster only works on dex saves against specifically me, not lines. You would think lines would be affected.
Well, you get the bonus to the save still.
Yeah.
No, I do
Don't
not.
you?
That is only if it is specifically against me. The reaction
Well-
part applies to all dex saves.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Ito, you will take 31 points of lightning damage, and Valerian, you will take 15.
Alrighty. Not loving it, but better than 31.
Ouch!
Valerian is not looking good. He is bloodied now.
We'll talk
Ito
into
just
this
went
after
from
you
full
go down.
health to a quarter, so
Okay.
Oh, you didn't save. That's right. Okay. I was gonna say the evasion part still works.
only if you save.
Yeah. Well, trying not being bad.
All right. Ore, make a wisdom save.
Wisdom, you say?
Yes, I know you're really good at it, which makes me sad, but there's hope.
Well, I rolled a 7, so total of 15.
Okay, you save.
What was the effect against me?
You saved. You felt like you were about to be changed into something else, though.
Ah,
Nice.
A law-abiding citizen.
All right. And then it is Ciradel's turn, who will strike behind them to hit both of the hags with the Call Lightning effect. Again, one will fail its save, but three will make its save. And they will take some damage. So one takes 12 damage, and three takes 6. And then it is Ore's turn.
could I tell which one was kind of casting at me?
The one closest to you was casting at you, because
Oh.
the other one did the big old bolt of lightning that went through the other two that, she's lined up with.
Cool. What are they wearing? They're just wearing like raggedy clothes,
Raggedy
right?
robes, yeah.
Gotcha.
No heat metal.
Nope, no heat metal this time.
They're wearing steel
I
underpants.
am going to. I'll cast regular guiding bolt at hag number 3, just past her.
Okay.
That is a 14.
14 will miss.
Darn it. And then I will Starry Archer hag number 1.
Okay.
That is an 18.
18 will hit.
For 12 points of damage.
How do you want to do this?
So I throw the first guiding bolt at the witch far to the north and doesn't hit her. And I recognize that this one was just getting to me, so I just kind of, as an afterthought, cast the Starry Archer form at her. And again, the very standard little sparkling shooting star comes out of me, and it goes right to her, and she bursts into a bunch of glitter and falls to the ground.
Okay.
Sparkly like.
A bunch of glitter?
Makes people fabulous. That's what he does.
That is what
Yes.
Ore does. Anything else? Movement?
I'm going to stay where I am because I don't want to line up with anybody.
All right. Elandiel, your turn, and then Sadzi as well.
Can Sadzi go before me this round?
Yeah.
Cool.
Sure. I think I'll stick with the firebolt for now.
Okay.
So that's going to be 21 to hit.
21 will hit.
Ooh, sweet. 10 points of damage.
10 points of damage.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm good staying where I am, so I'll pass to Elandiel.
Okay. I am going to step up a bit. That should put me within range. And I'm going to point at the remaining hag and channel divinity through me. My eyes begin to glow, and I point at the hag and say, "As your sisters fell, so shall you." And she is now vulnerable to the next damage that she takes. Yeah, the next time you or an ally hits the cursed creature, it has vulnerability to all of the damage.
Okay. Ito, it is your turn.
Thankfully, it's not attack; it's hit.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm kind of sad because it would have been nice if Valerian was next, just
You
for
can just
a smite.
hold till
I could.
he smites.
Or you could just miss. That is a
True.
possibility.
Set up the flank so he can have a higher chance of critting.
All right.
Yeah, I'll go around the back and. See, the problem is, out of character, I know it's much better for me to not attack. In character, I'm not sure Ito would catch on.
He's a
So
fighter.
attack.
I would attack. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a
Valerian,
chance
do
of
it,
critting
of
too.
course.
You also have a chance of missing. So
That'll be a 17 to hit.
17 will hit.
Dang it.
In world, it's all just bang.
That'll be 22 damage after doubling.
Okay. Green Hag's not looking too great after that. Anything else you would like to do, Ito?
The customary shove.
Okay. You gave... Oh, it's not even on this hag. Doesn't matter. Never mind. Okay.
I will put the unwavering mark on her as well when I hit.
Okay.
Um,
She got a 20. So,
yeah, no. She isn't shoved.
No, she is not.
This hag does save, doesn't she?
She's very good. She has been the most effective hag for sure. It is Mizeki and Valerian's turn.
All right. Go ahead, Miseki.
Alrighty, I will BA my hex to her and give her the pew pew. That is a 21 before the bless,
21 will hit.
and of course a 1 on the damage roll plus my d6 because we can't have nice things. So 3 damage,
Okay.
and that's me done. Yeah,
All right.
I will hide just to spite her.
Okay.
All right, Valerian will attack with the spear again. Let's do this thing. D&D Beyond is taking its sweet time. Just a minute.
It slows down for some reason.
All right, that's going to be a 24 to hit.
24 will hit.
We'll hit her for 9 damage, and then I'll swing at the other end of the spear at her.
Okay.
With advantage. Natural 20. Smiting time.
Whoop, whoop.
Okay.
So we will do a first level smite, which gets critted. So that's going to be 48.
Plus 2d4.
Roll that damage.
Play that beautiful.
That's going to be 19 damage plus my strength mod, so 23.
23 damage. How do you want to do this?
All right, so Valerian stabs her with the front end of the spear, and then he's got the shield in his other hand, so he just whips it around and cracks her on the head, and then smites, calling out Zuklodon's name, his god, and it says, "In the name of Zuklodon, stop attacking my friends!" And then that will put her down on the ground.
Okay. So as this happens, Argus continues running away, but Ciradyl, seeing what has happened, reins him in and directs him to come back towards you all.
What was that?
Ito is going to take this opportunity to use a second wind so that he is no longer at 1/4 health.
Yeah, Valerian's gonna lay on hands and heal himself up a little bit too.
Just pat him on the back aggressively.
Ciradyl will respond to your question. Hags, specifically a coven. They've been tracking me all of my life. Argus here keeps me in motion, keeps me moving, at great peril to his own life.
Well, they shall trouble you no more.
Congrats.
Is it just the 3? Are there more?
A coven is only 3. But with that coven gone, I am sure another will come in their place. I will be hunted for all of my life.
In Elven, I ask her if she's willing to explain why.
She turns to you and responds in Elven. She goes, I feel that you have earned our story. But perhaps here is not the place. Shall we return to your camp?
Yes, I reply in Elven again.
I'll look to Argus and say in Sylvan, do you require aid?
I am okay. They only put me to sleep temporarily.
I want to search the hag's bodies.
That was the next thing I was going to do, was search the hags.
Okay. So on the hags, you find a vial of blood, as well as several bits and scrapes from various different creatures. You also find coin, but the coin does not look like it is from this plane.
Is it gold?
Ito is taking the coin.
Because that can be melted.
Yeah, so it is gold. It is just a single gold piece.
Ito is taking the coin.
Is he really?
He's going to try.
Does Ito beat a 27 sleight of hand?
Nice
Okay,
head
wow.
job.
Ito doesn't even know the coin exists.
That's why you never let your rogues loot the body or the
See,
chest.
later on in the adventuring, Ito's going to mention how much he absolutely loves cool coins from other places.
And Becky's gonna give him a piece of rock candy and be like, "That's unfortunate."
After looting, I'm going to scan the horizon and see if there's any other threats or anything else moving around.
Okay, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Valerian will assist him, so you can do it with advantage.
I got a 17 that one, but I'll roll again for the advantage. $18.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, 15.
So 17.
So the 17 would be the one, yeah.
Okay. So scanning the horizon off in the distance, you don't see any threats there. The clouds are still dark overhead and stormy. But as Cyrodiil recognizes that you're kind of searching, you just see as the clouds fizzle away.
How are we still pretty close to the ogre tracks that we were following, or do we need to double back to the ogre tracks?
You would have to double back to the ogre tracks. It would take you maybe a minute to get back there.
Should we continue tracking the ogres?
Out of character, about how long do we have before the caravan plans to continue on?
Till
Uh,
tomorrow.
yeah, so this is the day of rest. So as long as you're back by the morning, you should be fine. But you're also
Okay.
clearly capable enough to travel without the caravan.
Valerian will suggest we take a short rest before continuing on, but then, yeah, we probably should.
Yeah, Ito's in the same boat. That was why I was asking.
Well, I was going to ask how you guys look because I could do a spell, but maybe a short rest is the right way to go here.
That's fine.
I
for me.
mean-
I'd get back everything I spent. So
Yeah, I feel like tactically our mission is to make sure there's no threats coming from this direction towards the caravan, and we just resolve the threat. And so we should, and this is Valerian's thinking at least, which might not be factually correct, but in his mind, if we camp here, we're still in between the threats and the caravan, so it's okay if we take a little bit, like an hour. No, is everybody good with that?
I'm good with
it
that.
works for me.
And
No
gives me
objections here.
time to converse
Fine by me.
with Cyrodiil and Elvin about her backstory.
Right. Which she specifically told you that this was probably not the place to stay and to return to your camp.
Yeah, but we don't listen to her.
I mean, it was in
Valerian-
Elven, so it's up to Alandiel to communicate that
True.
back. But
Yeah, like the rest of us don't know what she's talking about.
She says that it's probably not super safe out here. I feel
All
more
right.
comfortable, safer being back at camp.
Sounds like a plan. To camp. Because Mizeki doesn't want to be here either. Just in general.
Yeah, for once, Valerian will agree. He doesn't think that the threat from the ogre caves is going to be too great, and even so, we can like camp is like 15 minutes away, so we can go to camp, rest, and then come back out again if we want to, because it's a day of rest.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you're not too far from your camp at all. So there was definitely a looming threat to your camp. So, but yeah, so you are returning to the caravan then, or returning to the ogre tracks and camping at the base of the ogre tracks.
I think we go back to camp, hear their
Caravan.
story, yeah, and then go
Yeah.
back out if we want.
Okay. So you return towards the caravan as everybody sees you coming. You are greeted by Elman the Dragonborn, and he goes up to you specifically, Valerian, because you seem to be the one taking charge, and he goes, "What is your report? Do we need to leave?"
Valerian will look to the others, but then he'll pretty confidently say, "We found a coven of hags that have entered this plane by an unknown means. Ciradyl, our friends here, were going to tell us how much danger they believe we are in and why it came to this point. Give us some time, please, an hour."
We were able to dispatch the hags. They are no longer a threat to us currently.
Well, good work. Yes, take your time. We have this whole day to rest, and if you are confident that the area is clear and we are not in any present danger, then we will rest for the day.
I would double the guard for the next 90 minutes. There were some troubling ogre tracks to the north that we will investigate after this short rest.
You are the doubling of the guard.
Then it's very good that we're here
Indeed.
in the camp, ready to respond to threats for the next
Valerian
60
will
minutes.
chuckle and pat Mizeki on the back and agree with him for once. So we probably should have. He'll probably patrol around, like close enough to hear the story, but be on guard while we're sitting here and resting.
Okay. Yeah, so the members of the
Did
caravan
anybody
guard.
pick up the vial of blood from the hags?
Nope.
Yeah, I acquired their spell components that they had, so I do have their spell components that they had there.
I
The
think it
vial
might
of blood
be
and the strips of other
hers.
whatever.
Maybe that's how they're tracking her.
Ooh,
Ooh, that is a very good point.
freebie.
So we can ask her.
Does this look like your blood?
Can I sniff it?
Oh yes, I can.
You can
tiny-
sniff it, Satsi, if Ore or whoever grabbed it allows you.
So that's
Sure, not a problem.
Maybe I can identify it? Maybe? I don't know.
just imagining.
Or it could
the
just be
little
creepy
fly.
hag blood stuff. I don't know.
Does this belong to you?
But wait, you don't know what blood smell you're comparing it to. Quick, cut the elf open.
You don't need to cut her open. My God, you just need a taste.
All right.
Just aggressive licking.
So you all return, and you circle up around one of the edges of the camp, further away from everybody else in the caravan. And as you sit in the circle, Ciradyl whispers some words, and a dome appears around you that shimmers. And she goes, "Just so we aren't overheard."
Awesome.
Is this tiny hut that she cast?
No.
Oh,
Bold of you to assume you know the Fey magics.
I did. I foolishly thought I did.
It's medium hut.
As we're sitting down, kind of listening to this, I put my hand on Valerian's shoulder, and I very discreetly cast Vigilance Blessing on you. So you have advantage on the next time we roll for initiative.
Oh, didn't
Ooh.
Mizeki have that for this
Thank you.
fight?
He used it
Oh,
last
for the
time. I didn't
ogres, right,
recast
right,
it.
right.
Yeah.
It's only once. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Which is good because I don't necessarily want to go super duper first. I want to be in the middle.
Fair.
I'm going to slowly rotate it through the group.
All right, yeah, let's switch back here because we don't need that on that map here. For those in Twitch that are watching. All right, so you circle up around the camp, and she casts this spell, and she whispers as it begins to shimmer. And then she reaches out with her left hand and grabs Ore's right hand and takes her right hand and grabs Argus's right hand, who then does the same, reaching out to grab on. And she says, "Everybody, please hold hands."
Totally hold hands.
So whoever's to my
Immediately.
side with my free hand, I grab them.
I guess I'll hold hands. This is a little weird.
I will very reluctantly hold hands and mutter under my breath, please tell me we're not singing Kumbaya.
I feel like Ito was
No.
between Sadzi and Mizeki and is just quite excitedly reaching for their hands, and they are not entirely sure about it.
All right. As the final connection is made, likely with Sazi or Miseki, who seem to be unhappy about holding hands, you watch
Please people's hands.
as a bright light forms in the center of the circle and begins to take on various shapes. Apes. And you recognize at first the shapes that it takes are that of Ciradyl and Argus, and it rewinds going backwards as they grow younger until you see a centaur holding a baby. And Ciradyl speaks. This is where my story begins. I was born on this plane that we are on now. My mother and father, very religious, devout, believers, had my fortune told. Finding that I would be of critical import for an upcoming war, they knew that I had to be protected. And so they traveled to the Feywild and gave me to Argus. Argus raised me from a babe until I am here now. He tells me every night the story of how I came to be and what my parents told to him. There is a great war coming that will affect all of us. And I am to play a key role in stopping it, ending it. We do not know yet what that role will be, but I have been hunted from the time that I was a child, and you see as the figures in the center grow, and you see a small child riding on the back of the centaur, and as it moves and gallops out of the dome, you see replaced by these three hags chasing after them. Day by day, we traveled, surviving off of the land. We had many close calls. They have been tracking me for some time. As I grew older, I started to develop an unnatural set of powers in connection with nature. And you see a slightly older child casting various spells where you see plants begin to grow and sprout up all over the place. Trees the size of a sapling to fully grown ancient trees in the matter of seconds. I've never met another druid who can do what I can. It's been a long, lonely road, just Argus and I.
Well, now you have us.
She nods. She goes. As it continues, you see she's now older, not too much younger than she is now, and you see her and Argus in this cave, and she pulls out this onyx cuboid, and she goes, "During our explorations, I found this. I do not know what it is, but it spoke to me inside my head when I first picked it up, knowing that this is a key to something. After I found this, those hunting me grew wilder, searching for me so frantically that we could not even sleep through most nights without having to get up and move for fear that they would find us. The lights continue, and you see them change into now a fully grown elven woman and the centaur walking side by side through what appears to be a temple. And then suddenly, all of the temple disappears but a single pillar, and instead, trees and fields pop up around. And you see 3 giant ogres. And this is where you found me. And as she finishes, she breaks the connection, and the dome disappears and the lights vanish.
I look to her, and in Sylvan, I ask, "Have you ever had any prophetic dreams?"
Once, about 6 months ago now,
Do some
I
quick maths.
timeline lines up.
Yeah.
I had a dream about a man being slaughtered.
A beheading.
No, not a beheading. They were being ripped apart by the hags chasing me.
Were there any other individuals in this dream aside from the hags and the gentleman being dismembered?
There were several people, all in silhouettes around me.
I
Most of
describe what Ayabar looked like, and ask her if that's what she saw was the man.
No, that doesn't fit the description of who I saw.
And then in Sylvan, I'll give the description of the one that the rest of us saw with the white hair and the robes.
She goes, "No, I did not see them either. I am curious, though. Why do you ask me about these 2 specific people? And why a beheading?"
Most of us here have had a very similar vision. 3 of us, and I actually 2 of us, the third one's gone at the moment, had a vision of a beheading of the gentleman that I described, and we were also surrounded by many silhouetted individuals, but we perceived each other amongst those silhouettes.
Did we ever draw that, Elendil?
I drew what I saw.
Yeah. Can we show her that drawing?
Yeah, you could
I'll-
show her the drawing of Ayabar, but
Yeah.
again, she will say, "No, that
Yeah.
is not who I
I mean,
saw."
just we're telling stories.
Right.
I also look over at Valerian and switch back over to common. We have not discussed this with you. Have you had any prophetic visions of a beheading or a slaughter?
I was actually asked that question because we didn't cover this in character creation. I'm assuming he saw something similar around the same time frame.
Yes, you would have seen something similar, not necessarily a beheading, though. So, but you would have had about 6 months ago yourself a vision
So
of
the exact content is different.
Yeah, I would assume. I mean, Valerian is so focused on
Mhm.
conquest and combat that if there's anything like that in the vision, he'd probably have his focus there.
Yeah. And yours definitely would have been of someone fighting, and they would have been an ASMR.
So he'll share this with everybody else that he saw a flying personages fighting, um, and that he studied it with great intent, and he thinks about it quite often because their fighting form was unlike anything he's seen.
Curious.
I'll be completely honest. I've kind of forgotten exactly what Ito's vision was, unless that's the one that happened in our session 0 for him.
That is what happened in our session 0.
Okay. Okay, perfect.
So if you want to talk about it, you can, or not, you can be silent about it. So that is up to you.
I'm going to take a moment to grab my notes on that.
Okay. So it sounds like you want to talk about it. We will.
You can't not share during story circle time. I'm pretty sure that's a rule. Everyone just like stares at you until you do share.
Does she still have that onyx cube out?
No, that was in the light show.
Vision.
Oh, I got it. I'll turn to her and ask if she does have the onyx cube in her possession still.
And it's a cuboid. It's not a cube.
Cuboid, sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, I was gonna wait for Ito to share his story before jumping into anything else.
That's fine.
So
So, I can't actually find the physical note I made about it. However, I vaguely remember it, and frankly, it's been long enough for Ito that he's probably forgotten the exact specifics too. So, um, 2 months where that was his only thing to really think about in a jail cell probably messed up his memory of it.
right.
He remembers having. Say again?
I was gonna say, if you would like, I can recount it for you.
Yeah, that might be best.
All right. So Ito had his vision, and where he was searching through the ruins in the far off lands where he is from, where a centaur came in galloping around through where he was, grabbed a stone archway that he was looking at, turned it, stuck his head through, and did this several times, kind of showing Ito how it worked. And then once turned it and stepped through. And the next thing that Ito saw was the head of the centaur being thrown back through the portal, completely beheaded. And so as Ito...
So
Go ahead.
he would pass that along, perhaps not terribly detailed, but in effect.
Okay. And as Ito recounts this story, Ciradyl responds, "Very curious. I do not think it was by chance that you stumbled upon us when those ogres attacked. Perhaps.
Arguably still by chance. Divine guided chance is still chance.
Fair. But perhaps we were meant to meet. And she'll pull out the onyx cuboid from her bag. It is about 1 foot long by 6 inches across and 6 inches deep.
Can I make a religion check to see if it's of any religious history or iconography?
Yes, go ahead and make a religion check.
To assist that
Oh,
if I could.
come on.
Yeah, you can assist him.
I got an 8. Oh, I got this gets an advantage, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
There we go. Much better. 22.
I also got a 22,
Okay.
and I'm bad at religion.
So, Mizeki and Alondiel, you recall stories passed down through various deities' religions about ancient artifacts from before the fall of man that stored and kept very magical secrets relating to the divines. This vaguely matches one that you've heard about that would have belonged to. Let me grab their name. Notes. Yes, so this would have belonged to Rytank, Goddess of Beginnings. And
Spell that, please.
Rytanke.
And that's Goddess of Beginnings.
Yeah, and she is an ASMR.
Man. How do we open it or listen to it?
Can I inspect the cuboid for other details?
Yeah.
Hatches, openings, puzzle box type of thing?
Okay, so you look around it, and Ciradyl hands it over to you for you to be able to inspect it. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
I cast guidance on you.
So you may add a d4.
That is a 12 plus 3 for 15.
Okay, so looking it over, it is very smooth onyx all the way around. There doesn't seem to be any indication of any hinges or a way that this would open. And it doesn't seem like you can push anything to dislodge it. It seems like it is a solid piece of onyx, but it doesn't feel like it's a solid piece. So you get from weighing it that it might be hollow, but there's no way that you can see to open it.
If I shake it around, do I hear any kind of movement for anything inside of it?
You do not.
You're just shaking and Jesus.
Well, it's subtly. It's not like I'm
I shake
dramatically
the
shaking
artifact.
If everybody's fine waiting 10 minutes, ritual cast detect magic.
I was actually going to cast Detect Magic. I think I have it prepared. Hang on a second.
While we're figuring that out, I'd like to
Well,
investigate it myself.
In order for him to ritually cast it, he has to have it prepared, so...
I do have it prepared, but I don't have to use a spell slot if I do
Right.
it as a ritual, so...
Right, or we're just trying to, do it faster, so...
Yeah, I have it. I'll actually just cast Detect Magic on it.
Okay. You do not detect any magic from this thing.
Sadness.
Good to know. I'll turn to Ciradyl. How long have you had this?
She pauses for a moment and thinks back. About 25 years?
Have you been able to discern any additional details on this? What it could be used for? What its purpose is?
No, just that once I grabbed it, I felt that I needed it, and that it brought out the anger and the hate of those who have been hunting me. So it's clearly important in some way. They want it. And as she says this, you see her eyes go wide, and she goes, I think this may be why we found each other. This may be what helps stop the war that is coming. And she reaches out to take it back from you.
My first instinct was immediately to take it and go into my genie thing.
But so yeah, like
And just
Oray's
leave
first
it
instinct
there.
when she reaches back for it is he does he get any other random senses? Like does he have the same kind of feeling like I need to have this? Does he have any of that going on?
No, you do not.
So I will gladly hand it back without much of an issue and any reserve there. I assume this last part was all in common with her.
Um, yes. Well, you all understood it in common.
Gotcha.
Um, so, yes.
I ask her if she knows anything about writing.
Well, that is indeed who my parents worshipped, and why they got my fortune when I was born. It is quite common for believers when a child is born to have their fortune told. As she is the goddess of beginnings, that is the time to do so.
And I let her know, like, I believe that um, to be connected to writing,
She goes,
a vessel of information and knowledge and secrets from ancient times.
it is not by coincidence that I found this, then.
I do not believe so.
And she takes it back from Ore, and she whispers something inaudibly to where you can't reach, grabs it with her second hand, and pulls. And you see a second identical one has appeared in her other hand. And she hands the original one back to Ore.
What?
I think this should fool them long enough that they won't know that I no longer have the real one. We cannot run forever. And although you've dispatched of this one coven, there is no telling how many are after me. And
How
I
do they
cannot
hunt you?
put you in danger. I do not know how they find us and follow us, but they have many unnatural gifts. I use mine to fight back, and Argus here protects me the best he can.
I was going to ask if you would like to travel with us for safety, but I understand your plan now. I will look after this. Do you know much of this world?
I do not, but I look forward to learning.
You said before that you are a druid as well?
Indeed. At which point, she reaches out her hand, and a flower begins to grow in her hand, which you identify as Druidcraft. And then she takes it and she plants it in the ground, and she touches the flower, and it grows to be about a foot tall.
That is most impressive. There are other druids in this world. Have you heard of the joy of trees?
Trees bring many joy.
Yes, they do. I did not get to attend it, but I did hear there was a meeting of druids in a grove of trees north of here. The grove of trees is referred to as the joy of trees. It is many days' travel, but if you're able to make it there, you may be able to seek some solace and some support amongst the druids there.
Thank you. Argus and I will search for a way back to the Feywild, to not bring any more dangers into this plane. But while we are here, that sounds like a wonderful place to go.
I do hope you're able to find some safety and solace with them. I promise you I will do the best I can to keep this safe. You said this thing is a foot square, roughly?
So it's a foot long, and it's 6 inches deep and 6 inches across,
Gotcha, okay.
which is what makes it a cuboid instead of a cube, is that it's
Right.
rectangular.
It's not a correct cube. I look at Alondiel. Do you believe this would fit inside your bag?
Yeah, totally.
Our bag.
Yes, our bag.
Okay, open it up so you can put it in.
And I place it in the bag.
One thing before we leave that I feel I must tell you. I feel that you will know what to do with that when the time comes.
Slay's like a seer.
Is she talking to Ore specifically, or is she just kind of talking to the group?
She's talking to the group.
Gotcha.
So Ore will know what to do with this when the time comes. That's all right.
So nothing can happen to Ore. You guys all need to remember that.
It's clearly a bludgeoning weapon.
Bang!
Dude, when you paused before like speaking again, like I put it in the bag. I was like, please don't say it opens a portal to the astral plane.
And lo, the portal has opened.
Just watch the bag explode in front of you.
The Dragonborn's like, is there any danger to the caravan? We're like, nope, we're all good. Boom.
We took
All
the
right.
danger with us.
I'm sure others probably have questions and stuff like that. Can we do our short rest as we continue the conversation? And then
Yeah, you can go ahead and take your short rest. It has been well over an hour by now.
I feel like at this point we've brought danger to the caravan. The danger might not be immediate, but it would be technically lying for Valerian to say there is no danger immediate to the caravan.
The real danger is the friends we made along the way.
Yeah, there you go. It's true.
Thank you.
Accurate,
Hey,
very accurate.
We
With this
could have
one.
also, in the long term, brought further safety by helping them prevent the calamitous war. So therefore,
yeah,
from a certain point of view,
We don't even know what that thing is, what it does, or if it's like able to be sensed outside of your bag, the bag, whatever.
I kind of hope bad things can sense it to throw them off.
So wait, do we have the real one or the fake one?
The
We
fake
have the real one.
one.
You have the real
What?
one.
We have the
Okay.
real one.
We have the
took
real
fake
one. And we'll know what to do with it.
I kind of feel like she's giving it to us and being all mysterious about it because she also has no clue what it does, and she's like, "Just take it. I don't want to deal with it."
I mean, to
Hey.
be fair, if you'd been chased all your life and someone shows them like, "We're following a prophecy," you'd be like, you should take this and go far away."
I mean, she also did say this should buy some time, but they takes them before they realize it's fake. So you get the idea that she's planning at some point to give up the chase or to lose the chase.
Mainly, I think she just wants a night of rest. Sounds like, because if they're
Yeah,
chasing her because she has that, then yeah.
They were chasing her before, as she told in her story, but once she
But they got
found that,
wilder.
they got wilder and more
Right.
frantic about it.
Does anyone have any more questions for her? Should we go back out to
See if we
check
can
out the
find
ogre
that
path?
ogre horde.
Yes, but I don't think she should go
Ito's
with us.
Yeah, Ito's also going to mention, should we maybe not bring the thing that is evidently making foes wilder with us? At least not, when we're going a place we know we're going to fight.
We don't
Where's
know
your
we're gonna
sense of
fight.
adventure?
It would. I
he
don't.
will
I don't think we
counterpoint
should
with,
bury
"Do
it.
you
It's
really want to
better
leave it
to have
here?" Like,
on us. Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, where are we gonna leave it?
Fair enough.
we are doing a
I
news
mean, I
launch
guess
now.
inside the bag of holding is probably the best option, because then it's technically not on this plane.
Until the DM makes us fight inside the bag of holding.
Fight for your
Also,
lives. You have 3 seconds of air.
it's probably not going to enrage standard run-of-the-mill non-prophecy engaged enemies.
This is
People
how he
hunting her were further enraged in their desire to hunt her.
Maybe, maybe not.
That's what I believe.
Worst case, it's a bludgeon.
All right, let's take it and let's go check out them hills again.
Should we offer to walk with them at least part of the way?
Oh yeah, I totally invite them to come along.
Until they get to the road or something.
You guys are parked not too far off the road, so getting to
Yeah,
the
we're by the
road
caravan.
is
We're
like
I tell
in
her
camp
in
still.
Elven, I'm cool with them hanging out as long as they want to hang out.
they don't want to attract any more attention towards you guys, and so they want to split as soon as they can. And this feels like a good point for it.
We're good enough at
Aw.
attracting attention on our own.
I'll hand them a drawing that I'd done of our little band to remember us by, and as a little good luck charm for her.
I'm gonna give each of them a piece of my gem candy and tell them that it has been a pleasure to meet them in Sylvan.
Okay. They accept your gem candy very graciously and eat it. Elandiel, as you hand the picture to her, she reaches out and touches it and whispers, and she pulls away. And she has a copy, but you still have your original.
That is cool. That's awesome.
Tax fraud.
And,
I really want to
then,
hand her this emerald and see what happens.
I'll bid her farewell in Elven, and that Raitang watch over and guide her in her journeys.
I'll also do something similar in Sylvan to the both of them, but just kind of wish that Thalia watches over them in their travels.
All right. And with that, they'll take their leave and make their way towards the road. So, as they walk away, you realize it's much later in the day than you would expect, given how long it felt like you were talking with them.
Bum, bum, bum. Were we in a pocket plane?
No,
I mean,
time just flies when you're
yeah,
in good
having
company.
fun.
Approximately how late does it feel?
So given that you left fairly early in the morning, Ernene, it's about 4 in the afternoon.
Well, still enough time to go check this place out. Let's do it.
I agree.
I only need 4 hours of light rest.
As
Alright.
do I. Actually, I think mine is 6.
Okay. How far do you want to travel following the tracks before you give up to turn back and head back to the camp?
So we were only 15 minutes away from camp when we battled the hags.
I do want to
About that,
give
yeah.
them, before we leave, I want to give the camp leader the stone that's already been used that's connected to my stone. So that if we get into like a thing or we need to convey information to them, we can send them.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
So Ore is giving them his stone.
Yeah, temporarily. Very clearly, temporarily.
Okay. I mean, he
And
tells
then
you,
we'll
like, if
explain.
you're not back by morning, we won't wait for you, so.
And that's fine. I would ask that if they're going to leave, they just let us know that they've left with the stone. Because when the morning comes, it'll have been reset.
If it's about 4, we could journey about an hour away, giving us the same amount of time to come back. If we don't find anything in that time, then we're kind of a little safer, I guess, given an hour journey time of checking for other dangers.
Okay.
If everybody's cool with that.
That
Yep.
sounds pretty reasonable.
All right. So you make your way back to where you first encountered the ogres, and you quickly find the tracks again and begin following them off to where they bend and start heading more west. And you follow them as they're going northwest towards the mountains. An hour goes by, and you're still following the tracks, and you haven't seen any other sign of any other ogres or any encampment of where these ogres were before you met them.
You said there's mountains in the distance. About how far away in the distance?
Pretty far off. Those are the same mountains that you guys are headed to.
This is
Just
still plains. This is still plains, though. There's not a lot of big intrusions or anything in the distance that's closer that catches our attention, aside from the mountains in the far distance.
correct.
Yeah, I don't think we want to go that far. I mean, if we've gone, we're probably good,
Yeah,
in
you've
my
gone the
opinion.
hour that Ore suggested.
Yeah, I don't think we need to go beyond an hour. I mean, if we're, I don't know, in an hour we cover what, like 6 miles or something like that, 7 miles, like we're probably good.
Yeah. All right.
Agreed.
Let us return. There's no danger out here that will endanger our camp this night.
Okay. So you turn around, return to the camp 2 hours after you had left.
Dinner time.
Definitely, you see that several of the caravan members are sitting around circles cooking over a fire as you guys return.
We'll return and we'll find the Dragonborn leader. What's his name again?
Elman.
Elman. Yeah, we'll go back to, at least Valerian will go back to Elman. I don't know if everyone goes as well. I would imagine most people probably go find somewhere to eat. But Valerian will go back to Elman and give him a report, just tell him that he thinks everything is safe. And then Mizaki, are you coming along too? Or should
At
I get
this
the stone
point-
back from him?
At this point, yeah, he can come along. That's fine.
Cool. So we can get the stone back from Mizaki as well.
Okay.
While
But
while Valerian is away from the rest of the group, I kind of huddle everybody up and say, I've been giving daily reports to Zamza, but I don't want to share any information about this cuboid. Is that the smart choice?
you ask the grumpy hunter and the Minotaur man and
Yep.
the elf who tells people about death.
I'm just not sure it's wise to reveal this information at this time. To the council, at least.
Well, if it doesn't seem to have a pressing impact on our mission, I mean, that might be something better discussed in person when we can make sure that there's no one or nothing listening in.
That is also part of my concern. Thank you for your insight. I was just not sure if it was the right course of action or not.
Well, sometimes you make a choice, and sometimes it's a good choice, and sometimes it's a bad choice, and you don't find out till later. That being said, I'm going to go hunt. I'd want to go in the direction away from that wasn't where the ogres were.
Okay.
Just looking out for rabbit, something medium-ish creature.
All right.
Would you like some company on your hunt?
I wouldn't mind. I'd like to keep an eye out just in case there was something we missed on this side.
All right.
As well.
How far away from the camp are you wanting to travel?
How far away would it be before I can't see the camp anymore? Like 15 minutes, 30 minutes?
Yeah, you've got pretty good vision. Probably about that 15 minutes.
Okay. Let's head out about 15 minutes, and if we see anything, then perhaps we can choose to go further.
Okay.
And I'll stay with her for the entire hunt. I'm ceding to her choices.
Okay. So you're heading the opposite direction of where you encountered the ogres. So as you head in that direction, and you find that there is still just mostly small game around here, but you do come across a fence. And you can see on the other side of the fence there are several sheep, as well as a few larger animals like cows.
I may salivate at the sheep, but we do not take the sheep. We will content ourselves with rabbits and pheasants and the like.
I would have advised, if she was going to start hunting those, I would have advised against it.
You also kind of get the idea that this may have been where the ogres were trying to travel to.
That also makes a lot of sense.
Guaranteed food source.
And they could have gotten there if they just didn't attack our friends.
This fenced pasture, how far away from the road is it? You said about 15 minutes for us to get away from camp before we ran into it.
Yeah. So it's a ways set off the road.
do we see any structures or just the
From
pasture?
where you are, this is just pasture that you see. You can follow the fence towards the west or towards the east and see if you can find anything.
I'd still follow Sadzi whatever she's looking to do. If she's looking to continue on with her hunt.
Let's go east for a little bit. I'm just curious.
Okay.
Okay.
So maybe 10, 15 minutes or until we come to a corner of the fence
Okay.
going east.
Yeah, so heading east, about 15 minutes of your walk, you do see up ahead, still about another 300 feet, the fence where it curves and or turns and starts going south.
Okay. And I assume during this time I've managed to pick up a couple
Yeah, there's a
small
few
game.
rabbits and small game birds that you can catch along your way.
Okay. Shoot. Ore, do you have any opinions on whether we should keep going or if we should start heading back towards camp or
Well, this did work as scouting the area around. We do have some information for the caravan that there is fenced pasture land here. We could also inform them that it may have been where the ogres were headed to as a possible food source. But if you're satisfied with your game that you've acquired, I don't see any reason to continue further.
this should hold me over for a couple of days. I think we can probably head back unless we see something else.
Agreed.
Okay. You don't encounter anything else that stands out. Are you wanting to just head north until you hit the road and then return to the camp, or do you want to return by walking west along the fence until you get to where about you think you were, and then head towards the camp from there?
I'm okay with kind of heading north and making a circle essentially and kind of keep it as a further investigating the area essentially.
Okay.
I agree.
All right. Yeah.
Watching for any threats as we go.
Easy enough to do. You make it up towards the road, and then turn and head east back towards your camp. Or west towards your camp. I got turned around there for a second. So, all right. What was everybody else wanting to do while those two are off hunting?
Valerian's probably just gonna keep patrolling.
Okay.
I'm gonna write down the things that have happened to us.
All right. If no one else has anything that they want to do, um, Ore and Sadzi will return to the camp. You will all get your opportunity to take your long rest, and
Cool.
in the morning the caravan sets out again. You continue on the caravan. The next several days go by fairly uneventful. As you get within a day of your trip ending, you set up camp for the night, and as you are starting your fires, you notice that there is smoke billowing out further west from you. About maybe you would estimate another 5,000 feet where that smoke is coming from.
Does it look like a wide fire, or just like from a possible campfire?
It seems to be a fairly large fire for you to notice it from that distance.
We should investigate that this doesn't come across the plains towards the camp.
Mm-hmm.
Valerian agrees.
So,
Yep, definitely. Fires are always bad.
so do we perhaps have some room in that magic bag where we could, I don't know, maybe put some buckets of water?
I don't think we could put enough buckets of water.
Okay. Do we have digging implements?
I believe Valerian has a shovel.
Cool. We can make a fire break if we need to then.
I believe wrong. He has no shovel, but he's pretty strong, so he can just dig. He has claws too.
Insert a comment about cats digging in the litter box here.
Okay. So you guys want to go and investigate.
Yeah. Does the caravan carry any shovels?
A few just to, dispose of their business.
Oh, so not like they would have it in case they needed to dig out a wagon wheel or anything like that.
There's really one for that, but most of the time they make sure that there's a mage that can handle things like that.
Got yeah.
Well, let's take that shovel and then let's go if we can find it. And if we can't find it in like a minute or less, or if we don't know where it's at, then let's just go straight for the fire.
Okay. All right. So you begin heading further west towards the smoke that is billowing out. As you get closer to where you can start seeing things, you see that it isn't one large fire, but several small fires that are close enough together that as the smoke goes up into the air, the smoke joins together to make it look like it is a much larger fire. These fires could easily join together as the grass burns. They could become one giant, massive fire.
So it looks like they're set then on purpose,
Uh,
since there's so many of them.
Indeed, it does look like they were set.
Do we notice any beings, humans, people around?
So at the point where you can spot them, that there are several of the fires, no, you do not see any other humanoid creatures or anything that might have set these fires.
This feels like a trap, Valerian says.
I feel the same way, but we should still douse these fires as fast as we can. And I'll start moving towards the fires to start patting them out.
Okay.
Yeah, Valerian will go to one. Same kind of deal as before, where we're trying to fan out but stay close to each other in case we get ambushed. So he'll fan out to another fire near Ores and try and stomp it out using his spear as his long spear. as a makeshift shovel to get dirt on top of these flames.
I would probably use my shield and kind of use it to scoop the dirt from the ground and pat out the fire as best I can.
Okay.
Smother it if I could.
So as you get closer to where you can see these fires, you see the silhouettes of several humanoids there off in the distance, and they seem to be surrounding another humanoid. And they've clearly all got weapons drawn, and you can hear the clanking of weapons fighting against each other.
Well, Valerian runs on over there. I mean, he'll call to the others as well.
Yeah.
About how
All
far away are they from the fires?
They are in between several of the fires, and as you get closer, you notice the fires are separate because they are bodies.
Oh.
The fires are bodies?
They're like funeral pyres type thing.
They're not pyres, but yeah, someone
Are they made of
are
fire?
burning bodies.
Okay, they're burning bodies. Okay.
Hmm.
All right. Well, at this point, we'll ignore the fires for the time being and rush in to try and make sure that last humanoid isn't turned into a body.
Okay. So, as you approach, everybody go ahead and open up the plains map.
As I pass the burning bodies, do any of them look like they're moving?
No.
Okay.
And
I will use thaumaturgy to make my voice boom up to 3 times as loud as normal and yell out, "Cease!"
okay. And let's go ahead and roll initiative.
And or that thing that you gave me means I have advantage on initiative, right?
That's correct.
Ito's got a 21.
21 for Ito.
Ore has 14.
Ore has 14.
Valerian has 10 with
Val-
advantage.
Valerian has 10.
Sudsy, away
15
for just a
for
minute.
Elendil.
15 for Alandiel.
Misaki got 12, and Sudsy should be back in just a second.
12. And Sati is gone.
They're putting their headset back on now.
Sati, go ahead and roll initiative.
They're working on it. It's a process. Yeah, the website's being a butt.
It keeps wanting to define initiative. It's weird.
It keeps bringing up the text about initiative instead of rolling initiative, even though they're in dice roll mode.
Interesting.
So
I've noticed that none of the rolls that
they have a +3.
Sadzi has done has shown up in the game log, so that's something that we may have to look at.
Oh, does Sadzi have rolling enabled?
They should. One sec.
While we handle that, so can you describe the humanoids around? Well, the one being surrounded, the scene, the one
Yeah.
being surrounded, and the foes around them.
Yeah. So, what you notice as you approach, all of these bodies are dwarfs, as well as all of those that are attacking this single person are dwarfs, and the person being attacked is a dwarf.
So many dwarves. Um, we're already rolling initiative, so there's no way we can talk with them and be like, "What's going on here?"
You said you wanted to rush in to stop that guy from becoming a body. So
Yeah, that's true. All right.
I was like,
I
okay,
got a
we've rolled
10.
initiative. 10?
So it's just one guy who's getting beaten by this mob.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right.
And we can use our turn orders and initiative to ask that, so that's fine.
Ito, you are first.
Cool. So, Ito, run and hit thing.
All right.
And that'll be a whopping 11 to hit.
That will miss.
And the customary shove prone.
6.
That was also an 11.
Okay. All right. Anything else, Ito?
Nope, that'll be everything.
All right. Alondiel, your turn.
I will open up with bless. And I will bless Ito, Valerian, and Mazeki. And I'll bless one more. I'll upcast it. I'll also bless Sadzi.
Okay. So who all is that then?
Everybody but me and Ore.
Everybody but you and Ore. Okay. So Valerian, Ito, Mizeki, and Sadzi.
And I'll move up a little.
All right.
I should put everybody.
At
within 30.
at this point, the dwarf in the center sees you all coming and just lets out this huge sigh and puts his weapon down on the ground and puts his hands up and gets down on his knees. Ore.
Seeing this is the guy who's being beaten on, who puts his down and gets on his knees and puts his hand up.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to cast Shield of Faith on him. So he gets the +2 to his AC. And I am going to rush over to this tree stump as close as I can get. To there. And then I am going to hold Sacred Flame as an action to see if anybody attempts to hit him again while he is submitting.
Mizeki, you traveled with dwarfs. Do any of these look like ones you've traveled with? Is there between look?
I know like 3.5 dwarfs.
Well, as in
So I'm
like,
guessing no.
is the guy being surrounded wearing any different like style clothing, apparel, or are they all indistinguishable like factions to
There
us as outsiders?
to you as outsiders, they are indistinguishable. So, Mizeki, it is your turn.
I mean, no one's actively hostile right now.
Towards you, it seems.
Towards us.
Well, yeah. They're still trying to murder him?
You don't know. None of them have gotten a chance since he put his weapon down.
Do they look like they're still trying to murder him?
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna move. Can I get up next to him without running into the people?
Um,
Like physically crashing through them?
there are 2 open spots next to him, and that'll put you flanking between some of them.
That seems dangerous.
And you hear,
Is there a map I missed?
what's life without a little risk? Yeah, the plains map.
Plains, okay. Still being alive, typically? Okay, there we go. This makes more sense.
If I'm gonna yell something, I have to wait, don't I?
Yeah, your turn's coming up.
I am merely impatient.
Speaking's a free action. Using it to make a intimidation check or something is not.
I'm gonna move to there
Okay.
and just say I can hit all of you from here. I would suggest we have a bit of a talking time. And I will ready Thunderwave if it seems like they're going to attack me or the dwarf in the middle without talking first. I will Thunderwave
Okay.
and just hit all of them, including the dwarf in the middle,
Okay.
because I'm hoping my allies will take care of it.
All right. Sadzi and Valerian, you are up.
Can I go first?
Sadzi, yeah, Sadzi's faster.
Can I yell, "Stop! Put your weapons down," in Dwarvish?
Yeah.
Can I possibly make that intimidation to make that slightly more likely that they might actually do that?
Yeah, go ahead and give me an intimidation roll.
Oh, so that's a nat
Nice.
20 plus 4, so 24.
Okay. The dwarfs definitely seem afraid.
Okay, I'm gonna run and stop just a little north of Mizeki there.
Okay.
Um and I turn to the dwarf in the middle and ask him what's going on.
All right.
And I'd like to ready firebolt just in case things start going south.
So your action would have been to do the intimidation.
Oh, okay, cool.
So,
That works.
all right, Valerian.
All right, Valerian is going to run up and try and be imposing since he's almost 7 feet tall. He's going to run up to that dwarf that they're all around that's giving himself up. And then he's going to take the dodge action, but he'll talk to everybody. He doesn't know what Sazi said because he doesn't speak Dwarven, but he'll talk to everyone and ask basically, I'll do in character, I guess. What is the meaning of this? Put down your weapons. What is happening here? And then he's done.
Okay. You said you wanted to move up next to him, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. I'll move you. All right. So, one of the dwarfs who's dressed a bit nicer than the rest of them screams out in Dwarvish. So who all speaks Dwarvish? Just Sadzi?
Satsi.
Okay. Sadzi, so you understand it as we have a mission. Ignore the cat. Kill him. No matter how afraid you are. Our lives are not worth failing.
Which dwarf is it that's shouting that?
That would be this one down here.
The one with the headband?
Yep.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Also known as Bandit Captain.
Yes, also known as Bandit Captain. To distinguish him from, others.
I find it really funny that the token is just the same as the others zoomed in.
Yeah. Of course. Why not, right? It's the way to do it. So,
can I yell back at him, why must you kill him?
yeah, on your turn, you can ask more questions. So,
Okay.
he's going to get his attacks off, and then we'll trigger Mizeki's Thunder Wave, which will now hit Valerian as well.
Yeah.
That's okay. I was trying not to meta.
Can I hit just the two in front of me instead?
So Yeah, just a sec. Let me get his attacks off. So that will miss because of Shield
The
of Faith.
+2.
That will miss because of the Shield of Faith. That will miss because of the Shield of Faith.
Was this the bandit captain that was making the attacks?
Yes.
So it triggers my held sacred flame as well.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So, all right. So, Ore, do you want to go first?
Sure. He has to make a deck save of 15.
Dex save of 15. That one.
He will take 3 points of radiant damage.
Okay.
3.
All right. And then Mizeki, your Thunder Wave goes off, targeting
13.
everybody.
It's going to target the top two, or bottom two, I guess. Bandit 2 and Captain.
You were holding it to attack all of them.
I know.
So
Can I
it's,
not reposition
that's
it?
true.
it
Is it
is
just
going
gonna
to
hit all
attack
of 'em?
all
Okay.
of them.
Then everybody, that's fine, including Valerian. Here we go.
So what saves do they need to make?
13. And con.
13
So
con.
the dwarves should be fine.
I mean,
They're
they're
all
all
dwarves.
dwarfs.
The dwarves should be fine.
Okay, so
I pass because of bless.
So it just hurts our team.
Now they still take half damage.
Yeah, they still take half. It's only
Oh,
9.
that's right.
Though.
That's right.
The big thing, though, is if they don't save,
Hey,
they're
Bless
pushed.
did something.
Yeah, they're pushed 10 feet away.
all right. How much damage do they take?
9 max, and if they fail, they're pushed 10 feet away from me.
Okay. So if they fail, they take 9, and if they
yeah,
succeed, they take
succeed,
half.
they take 8
Yeah.
or 4.
Like, yeah, I heard half was 8, and so I was like, oh, how much did you do?
They take 9 or 8. Very good.
Okay. So all of the ones that are just bandits failed, so they get pushed how far away from you?
10 feet.
Okay.
Perfect.
But the captain and the veteran both made their saves, but they took half damage.
Get wrecked, bandits.
And I believe that was all of everybody's triggering actions. So, yeah. Now it is their turn. And they will all just rush back in and circle back up. Slightly different circle this time. And let's... Oh, right. The bandit captain had advantage on all of his attacks. Because they were flanking. Okay, he hits with his dagger. Let me get that in there. Okay. Damage recorded.
I can't believe that any dwarves would resort to banditry.
Alright.
Such a shame.
They're not. That's just, the tokens and the stats I chose to represent them.
Got it.
So... Alright. Okay, so let's see here. We have several attacks coming at this dwarf whose AC is currently 19 because of that Shield of Faith. So, 1 miss, 2 miss, 3 miss, 4 miss, 5th one hits. For some damage. Alright. Okay. The dwarf in the middle is not looking very good anymore after all of that. And it is back to the top of the round with Ito.
Valerian's gonna cry out to knock him out instead of kill them.
Ito.
Ito is going to move into that last little spot beside the dwarf so that he can start actually using interception.
Okay.
And then begin the bonking once again.
Okay.
He's a fighter below level 5. He doesn't have that many options.
Okay.
That'll be a 14 to hit.
Yeah, that'll
You're
hit.
Oh,
okay. I'll say
yeah,
you're blessed
forgot
if you
bless,
need it.
but yeah. That'll be 3 damage on the one immediately beside him.
Okay, that'll kill him.
Cool. And then he will step forward towards the captain and try to shove him prone.
Okay. Nat 1.
That'll be a 23.
Yep. You shove him prone. All right. Anything else?
Nope, that'll be end of turn.
Okay. Alondio, your turn.
I will use Toll the Dead on the bandit just north of Valerian. DC 15 Wisdom save.
DC 15 Wisdom on the one north of Valerian. 2.
Bandit 5. Haha. Oh, so he's injured, so it's a D12. That is 7 damage.
That'll kill him.
And I'll cast healing. Yeah, because that's a action. No, I could still bonus action. I guess technically I would have had to bonus action healing word first, then Toll the Dead. Does it matter? Or no, hold on.
No, the order doesn't matter.
Okay, yeah, just okay. And all healing word are the guy who just dropped his weapons.
Okay.
For 5.
Okay. All right. So him seeing you guys go after these other dwarfs and that you're not with them, he picks up his weapon and begins to fight again. You can see that he had given up thinking that you were joining the fight against him. And he'll pull out his longsword and his short sword and begin slashing about at these other dwarfs. So let's see how he does. That'll be 1 hit and 1 kill. And then a second hit with his longsword and a second kill. And with his short sword, a third hit and kill. Mostly because Mizeki pretty much brought them down to 1 HP. So,
Magic is friendship.
all right. So he takes out 3 dwarfs in his turn because of that.
Cool. Now we just need to keep them both alive to get their stories.
All right. Ore, your turn.
Yeah, I'm going to cast Sleep at 2nd level on. I was going to do on all of them, but now just the one guy.
Sleep affects an area, right?
It does.
This
so you
spell
can.
sends creatures into a magical slumber. Roll 5d8. The total is how many hit points of creatures the spell can affect. Creatures within a 20 feet of
Yep.
point you choose of range are affected in ascending order.
Okay.
Oh no!
So it's
maybe
just the
I
point
don't.
you choose, and you don't get to pick, and it's lowest hit points first. So
No,
you
it's
would have
good.
knocked out randomly people.
Yeah,
With just
yeah,
the 2 of them, you could potentially put them both to sleep.
Well,
yeah. Can I
the
put it in a point where just the 2 of them get hit?
or just
Um,
the guy that is bad.
now, Ito will
We don't
also
know
be
who's
included
bad.
in that.
And possibly
Yeah.
Valerian.
I
If you
couldn't.
want to hit only the one bad guy, you can do that because you can do a point that's 20 feet away. But if you want to include both of them, since they're kitty corner, that's gonna be pretty tough. Since in 5e diagonals don't count as extra.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Oh, gotcha.
and to Mizeki's point, you don't know who's good, who's bad here. You just know
That's
who
tr-
was outnumbered here.
Right. Well, that's why I wanted to put both of them to sleep.
Right.
That's
If
pretty
there's any
cool
way
though.
to target the both of them,
Not without including Ido.
then I will include Ito.
Okay.
'Cause
How many hit points do you have currently?
44, I should be good.
Okay.
So this is at second level, so it is 78. That is 32 points total.
Okay. There is enough for the one marked dwarf veteran. That exceeds his current hit point total, so he goes unconscious.
You put our friend to sleep. Well, maybe friend.
No, I need
Not
to tell
enough
the
for
other
the
dude
bandit
it's time to
captain?
talk.
No, because it used almost all of that 32 on him.
On him.
And since it
Gotcha.
starts with the lowest there, in order to put him asleep with including Ito in there, I think you would have had to roll 150.
Oh, good to know. Good to know. At least he won't be trying to kill this guy while we try and subdue the bandit captain.
All right.
Who is currently prone?
Anything else, Ore? Oh yeah,
Uh,
the bandit captain's prone, and the dwarf veteran is now unconscious and prone, obviously.
well, that was an action, so that's what I got there. I'll bonus action Starry Archer him.
Okay, so you'll shift into your starry archer form.
Yep.
Okay.
You're gonna have a disadvantage because he's prone.
Yep.
Okay. I
'Cause
don't
he
actually
got
want to
knocked
kill him
down.
at this point. Yeah. D&D Beyond's getting sluggish.
It has been sluggish all day.
Yeah, I've had issues loading pages and like getting prepped for today. I'm like, I need to look up these things. Why won't these pages load?
The hamsters over at D&D Beyond just got pretty tired today, guys.
Well, he might be good on this one. That's a 10.
Yeah, that'll miss.
Yep.
All right. Mizeki. Your turn.
He's on the ground, right?
Yep.
That makes my life harder.
Maybe you should tell the guy that knocks people down to stop knocking people down.
Yeah, stop knocking people over. Just push them away from you instead. I get it though. It's a commitment. I will hex Mr. Leader Guy and yell, "You best stop fighting!" And then I'm gonna shoot him with Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
So at disadvantage.
Jesus.
Does a 12 hit him?
It
Probably
does
not.
You have
All right.
bless.
Oh, I'm blessed. I have such great allies. Does a 16 hit him?
A 16 does.
Friendship is enough. For shitty damage. 2 plus 3, 5.
Okay. All right. It is his turn, and he will stand up, see that the dwarf is now unconscious on the ground, and take his scimitar and stab it into him.
Yep. Intercession. Ito.
Right. So that will hit for. Okay. And then he'll bring it up and stab it in him again.
Ito, are you mute? Do you want to
Yeah,
use your
I'm.
intersection?
I am absolutely using interception.
Okay.
And wouldn't the
One
slate be
moment while I
broken?
remember what I just need to remember what I roll for that. 1d10.
Isn't it 1d10
What
plus
is
fighter?
the wording on interception?
When a creature you can see hits a target other than you within 5 feet of you with an attack, it is reduced by 4
Okay,
because it's 1d10 plus proficiency bonus.
so reduced by 4. Okay, so the first attack got reduced by 4.
And then doesn't that wake up the person from sleep?
Yeah, but he's still prone, so it's still advantage.
Yeah.
So like it doesn't matter. The second one is a crit.
I think the first one was automatically a crit because he was unconscious.
Oh yeah, every hit's automatically a crit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no.
Which is
he-
why waking up mattered.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why waking up mattered.
Okay. Let me roll an extra damage die for him, so he'll take an extra 2. So okay. All right, and then he'll pull out his dagger and slash across his throat, and that will hit for 7 points of damage. Oh. You
Was
and your
he
dang interception. No. Intimidate doesn't actually inflict the frightened condition.
Gotcha. Okay.
So. Alright. Sadzi, it is your turn.
I'm not really sure what to do. Neither of the 2 remaining dwarves are dead, right?
Neither of the 2 remaining dwarves are dead, but one is on the ground, prone, and just got stabbed 3 times by the other.
Okay. Can I move? I think it's 20 feet over towards, or maybe 25 feet towards the dwarf that just got stabbed relentlessly while he was on the ground and drag him back.
Yes. But dragging him back will provoke an opportunity attack.
It's not forced movement, right? I mean, it is forced movement, so it shouldn't provoke from the captain guy.
It's one of those weird categories because by forced movement, they're talking about spell effects and things that push people away so that you can't abuse that. Pulling somebody away
You mean-
would definitely.
You mean like my bonus
provoke.
action shove I can do?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, I'm cool with that. I'm sure that's not how it works, Rob, but it's your rule set. But if that's the case, then can Ito just shove people for like opportunity attacks for us all the campaign? Because that's pretty dope.
No, like that's what I'm talking about there. That is the forced movement that they're referring to get it away. Pulling someone away, though, when he's constantly striking at them, oh yeah, he'll get a chance to strike as you're pulling him away.
Yeah, because the guy's trying to stay in combat.
Yeah.
Wait, which one are we pulling away?
We're pulling away the dwarf.
The downed guy?
Yeah.
He's unconscious, right?
No.
No.
Not
No,
anymore.
he's just
Okay, so
very,
yeah.
very hurt.
Okay, so I feel like in this case they're both trying to stay in combat with each other.
Huh. Because I want to try to get them to stop fighting for a second so I can find out what the hell's going on.
I feel like that's going to be accomplished by knocking them out again.
Yeah,
Well, I don't
hold
have-
person.
No, I don't think I have that as an action, do I?
You ever critically smite someone into unconsciousness before, Jimbo?
No, I mean, I don't really have a whole lot I can do there.
Bite him. It's a melee attack. You can knock someone unconscious with it. Do it.
But I don't want to.
The problem is that if you put the veteran down, he's just going to get stabbed again by the other guy.
Exactly. I need to need to bite the other guy. But if I move in next to him, he's gonna attack me. Right?
No,
It sounds
moving
like he's
in
pretty.
does not provoke an attack of
Yeah.
opportunity, so you can get right up next to him. It's moving away that provokes the attack of opportunity.
He might
So
just
if I-
attack you anyway on his turn, but
I mean,
Yeah, well-
clearly he wants to kill the other dwarf, so probably
He-
not.
Yeah, he's pretty
Alright.
committed. You're probably safe.
So, yeah, I'll step up to him and go for a strong bite.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
17.
17. That will hit.
So 4.
4. Okay. All right. Anything else?
I'd like to yell at him in Dwarven. Something along the lines of calm the F down and tell me what's going on.
Okay. All right. Valerian.
Valerian's gonna move over to here, and then he'll scream out to everybody, "We must take this one alive!" And then he'll attack him with his spear. That's gonna be a 24 to hit,
That'll hit.
and he's actually got his glaive out, not the spear out right now.
is the other
Woo! Roll the 1. All right, 5.
Okay.
And then he'll hit him with the other side of it. And that is a natural 1. And even a bless is not going to save
Bless
that.
won't do
So,
anything on
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
yeah.
That'll miss.
So he is done.
Okay. So that'll bring us back to the top of the round to Ito.
As I said, I'm just gonna shove this dwarf out of the way so that he is no longer in immediate danger.
I'll push the guy on the ground
Mhm.
back.
Yep. Just kind of lean down, shove him that way a bit, and then turn around to deal with the actual enemy.
Okay.
Well, technically, I have to do that in the other order because of how my class features work, but
So basically, you're shoving them apart.
Yeah. And the difference is he's using actions, not movement.
well, honestly, I was just gonna stab the actual boss and then shove the other guy.
Right.
19 to hit on the boss.
Yeah, that hits.
6 damage. And then I start shoving our friends.
Okay.
That'll be a 25.
He can willingly fail to move, to get moved.
He
Right.
can willingly fail.
Back up.
He doesn't willingly fail, but he does fail.
You will fail, willing or otherwise.
All right.
And then Ito's gonna move to just kind of try to make the dwarf realize, yeah, maybe don't.
Okay. Alandio.
And also unwavering mark on the bandit captain because I keep forgetting to mention that.
All right. Alandio, your turn.
I will use my lovely channel divinity. I'll point at the captain like this fighting needs to end, and I'll path to the grave him. So he's got vulnerability on all attacks that hit him next.
Okay. It is the dwarf's turn. He will stand up, step past Ito.
Thanks a lot, dude.
He's trying to finish this too, so you know. And then he is going to take strikes at this guy. That is a crit, So that's
Ooh.
gonna get doubled, right?
Nice. Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
that sucks. So I've rolled 3 damage on the crit. So that is 6 and doubled to
3?
12. Yeah, I rolled a 1 and a 2.
He doesn't have any mods?
No, that's what I
Nice.
rolled. Then I said it, so it's 6, which gets doubled to 12. So, but that sucked.
Wow.
Then
So a bunch of noodles are fighting each other. Is basically what's happening.
I mean, you can roll 1s and 2s. It sucks. It happens.
It does. I know.
Second
He doesn't have a
strike will miss, and then short sword will hit for 6 damage. Yeah, just as much as the crit.
You might be able to put him to sleep now, Ore.
All right. Yeah, and then it is your turn, Ore.
does that? That's too meta. I'll ask later. But that guy may seriously not consider us allies anymore.
Do I want to try another attempt at sleeping these two?
You could.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make him fall asleep again.
And it's a
And there's
20-foot cube?
it's a 20-foot cube, so it's gonna hit most of the team.
No, you can hit just those two with a 20-foot cube.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
no, I guess no, you can't. It's close, but yeah.
Valerian's probably
I
got
was
the
thinking
most.
10-foot cube. But yeah.
Yeah.
So you could hit just Mizeki and them.
Should I do
Valerian's
this at
probably
second
got
level
more hit
again, or should I
points.
do this just at first level?
If you want to get them both, probably do it at second.
That's what I was thinking. I'll do it at second level.
All right.
Yeah,
Who are you
it's
targeting?
a 20-foot. It's a 20-foot radius. Not a 20-foot
Radius.
cube.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So it's very
From a
large. It's
point.
within 20 feet from a point. Yeah, it's a 20-foot radius.
Okay. Yeah, no, you're definitely hitting most of the group then. Yeah. No
Yeah,
matter what.
that's the problem. Is I'll try and angle it so I can hit as least amount of people as possible, but there's no way.
Okay, where do you want to put your point?
Is there a way I can do it so the only one in our group is Valerian that gets hit by it?
Yeah, if you put it like over here,
Yeah, you'd have to put it over here.
like in the southwest corner.
That's
Yeah.
fine. I'll do it that way so I can still get the both of them and try and avoid Valerian. I mean, try and avoid everybody else.
Okay. Valerian, how many hit points do you have?
40.
40? Okay.
So that is going to be 78 for me. One moment.
Currently I'm at 36 technically because I forgot I got Thunderwaved by Mizeki.
Okay.
That is 32 points.
Okay. They both go unconscious.
Yay!
Hooray!
Finally.
Thunder wave.
Yay.
Separate
Non-lethal
them.
damage.
Take their weapons.
Let's non-lethal damage the captain guy. Yeah, down.
They're both
further.
asleep. Like
Yeah, they're out for a while now.
if you hit them,
If you hit them, they wake up instantly.
they wake up. Yeah. So just
They're
take.
out for 1 minute.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we-
that's
Or
enough
until
time
they
for
That's
us
take
enough
to
time to
damage.
tie them up. Yeah,
That's enough time to take their
tie 'em up.
weapons and
Take
separate
their
them.
weapons and maybe tie their hands so they can't.
We have 10 whole rounds of messing with them as long as we don't
Yeah.
shake them specifically.
Or hit them. Yes.
Did anybody in this group have manacles? Did somebody have manacles at one point?
Valerian bought some when we were not in Mint, but when we teleported to the other city.
Just one pair, or did you have more than one pair?
Just one.
I would do the bandit captain. And then we can probably rope tie the
Cover
veteran.
the other guy in oil.
Yeah, with all the fire around here, that's a good idea. Oh, speaking of, once we've got the weapons away from these guys and are securing them, Ore is going to run over and start putting out fires.
Okay. So,
I'm pretty sure about manacles, but I didn't update my sheet, so I'm going to act as if I didn't, and then I'll verify that afterwards. So we do have rope though, so let's just time up with the rope.
We can time both up.
All right.
Tie them up more than 30 feet apart from each other.
Yes.
Like tie one down to this tree down here and one to the big tree up there.
Yeah, just so if they wake
Yeah.
up and they start like angering, they won't be able to run at each other.
Could you tie them on opposite sides of this tree stump?
We can
That's
time to
not- that's
opposite
not more
sides
than
of
30
to
feet.
opposite trees.
That's
Yeah, put them way
Yeah.
far away from each other so they can bitch and moan at one another, but can't like stab.
Yeah, and that way, if one of them inadvertently gets free, they can't just murder each other in one round. And also, we probably want them farther away so we can interrogate them separately. If they're right by the next same tree, they
That's-
can just
that's
listen
a
back
good
as
idea.
much.
Yeah, one to the big tree to the north and the other to the southwest tree.
Let's take the bandit captain to the southwest tree. Valerian will take that guy and tie him up, and whoever else wants to. And then let's have another group take the veteran to the north tree.
Gently.
And then
Yep.
loot the other bodies.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Ore's not doing that. Ore's putting out fires, bodies on fire. How many fires were there?
There were 15 other bodies, and they were all lit
15
on
Wow.
fire.
piles or 15 individual burning bodies?
Individual burning bodies.
Oh, gross.
That's a
Does
lot
it?
of
Can I
people.
tell like how they were set on fire? I mean, I'm just putting the fire out as quickly as I can on each one.
Hmm.
Can I tell like were they magically on fire or did just someone light their clothes on fire?
So it definitely seems like someone placed them there. They took the time to place them there because there's some twigs and sticks and things to form some kind of kindling, and then set them on fire, trying to act essentially as a funeral pyre for each of them, but not taking the time to actually build them because they probably didn't think they had it.
Got ya. Yeah, I'm still gonna try and put out the fires for safety reasons.
All right.
Is there any issues, or do I have to do any roll for putting out these fires?
No, you can just take the time to put them out.
Okay,
So they
let
haven't
me take the time
gotten
to put
too
them out.
far out of control yet. So
Got ya.
all right. So with that, you'll have these dwarfs tied up in two different trees. I think we'll go ahead and stop here for the week, and you can interrogate them next time. So
On
thanks
Dragon
everybody
Balls.
for coming out and for watching. We're glad to be back. So hopefully you enjoyed our session today. I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, that was awesome.
But we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Bye.